Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Listen online, the website that rocks, KMOD.com. Past shows are available on iTunes. Search under BMMS. Listen with your cell phone. Get the iHeartRadio app, available from the App Store of your cell phone provider. More on that at iHeartRadio.com. And we're on Facebook. Facebook.com/BMMS69. That's where you can hang out with us each and every day. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Good morning.
Pair of tickets to see Jerry Cantrell and meet and greet him. That's actually one thing, not two, just so we're clear. That show is Saturday at the Tulsa Theater. Tickets available at TulsaTheater.com. That cough I had, everything's starting to come up. I'll try to not put that in your ear. We're going to see what Gimpy wants to talk about. Conspiracy Theory Thursday. We've got our top list today. People have been asking us, what's your bucket list items? Well, today is your top list of anti-bucket list items. Things you'll never do. Gimpy's got a Shamrock pub crawl. You want to go bar hop with Gimpy on St. Patrick's Day? Well, and this year on a Friday.
Hell yeah.
Well, make sure you go to the contest page at KMOD.com. And our 50th anniversary concert is on the books. Monday, April 24th at the BOK Center. Shine Down, 3 days grace. Those tickets are available for you at BOKCenter.com. I saw this thing on the news, and it was a woman begging for help. And I'm going to play some of the audio so you can hear the desperation or concern, or maybe not, in her voice. Now, this is taking place Lake Arrowhead, Big Bear, Twin Peaks area outside Los Angeles. And for those that don't know, the storm that's going kind of to the south of us today hit there and dumped a ridiculous amount of snow. Ridiculous. Some people, it's up to the second story.
Right, which is crazy for California. When I was living there, it snowed a little bit, but not quite like this.
In the lower levels, yes, this is the mountains, so they average about 40 inches a year. Okay. So it's not uncommon. Also, they were well warned that a prolific snow event was going to happen in their area. But listen to this lady and her frustration.
Hi, my name is Michelle Calkins. I'm a full-time local resident in Lake Arrowhead, California, in San Bernardino County. The communities of Crestline, Lake Arrowhead, and Running Springs are screaming and begging for help from our state. Our county declared a state of emergency, but doesn't seem to still be taking it serious. People are trapped in their homes and have been for now more than 5 days because the streets are not plowed. The snow has now accumulated up to about 9 feet on those streets. People cannot walk anymore. There are moms, personal friends who are low on formula that will only last them a day or two left. They have been calling the emergency hotline and no one is taking us serious. Please, we are begging you, send help. We need help. This is not a joke. We are not Mammoth. We are not Tahoe. We are not Big Bear. We are not a city. We are unincorporated and we need help. People are trapped in their homes. They cannot get medicine, heart medicine, insulin. The stories could go on and on. Please, we beg you.
She sure has a lot of information for being trapped.
Absolutely.
This sounds horrible. And yeah, that is a tough situation. When you choose to live in an area that is remote, when you choose to live in an area that doesn't have resources at the ready, that can happen.
Absolutely.
And it's not that I don't have sympathy for her. Yes, that sucks. And those people that live there, that sucks. But you chose to live there.
Right. You have California's a big state. You've got all that room. You could have lived anywhere, but I don't want to live in a big city.
You should live wherever you want to live. But then when you get warned for days that a prolific event is going to happen, and then you complain that no one's helping you, you chose to live in a place that was very hard to get to. And maybe there's some negligence happening on the government side, or maybe they're overwhelmed, or maybe they can't get out, or
maybe they're on their way and she doesn't know it.
I don't know Like the mother thing and that I get it.
Mhm.
But you were dude, they say it's gonna might snow here
Yeah.
and people buy food and stuff for 7 days.
Shelves are empty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that just doesn't happen there. Maybe they didn't heed the warning. I don't know. I read another thing where a guy walked 6 miles to the grocery store
Mm-hmm.
to get groceries to take back. Walking 6 miles is going to take some time.
Right. Was it uphill and downhill?
And I'm
he do
not
it barefoot.
I'm not saying it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
But to walk, let's actually add to that. Walking 6 miles in the snow that's 9 feet deep,
Yeah.
that's unplowed. You ever seen what's the movie with
Day After Tomorrow?
Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's that.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yes.
And is he in good shape? Who knows?
Right,
He
is
could
that
have a
something you
heart
do on the
attack.
reg?
Right. Exactly.
I'm not sure how. Okay, so let's see. If I want to do a quick map of like walking 6 miles,
Okay.
we'll just say from here, going 6 miles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it would be like going to the University of Tulsa from here.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's a long ass walk.
that's okay. So that's 8.2 because you can't go as the crow flies,
Mhm.
but that takes 3 hours.
Yeah.
Now add 9 feet of snow.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's just one way. 3
Yes.
hours one way.
Yeah, and I'm not. Listen, you'll do what you got to do to feed your family. Totally get it.
Right.
Totally get it.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that didn't happen, but it took him. I mean, it's going to take. Surely he wasn't the only one at the grocery store.
Right. A minimum 6 hours just in walking time.
And how do you know they're open?
Right.
If this is such a crazy event,
Mm-hmm.
True.
and if you can walk that far, maybe I don't know, get closer to the.
And you're walking back with groceries. Like-
well, he didn't have him like a sack, right? Like
He's got a shopping
people
cart.
in those environments they're like sleds to put their stuff
yeah,
in.
that's true.
Toboggans.
Yeah, toboggans.
If you
yeah.
will.
Uh-huh.
Based off the pictures that I saw of this guy.
Right.
And again, the people that have kids or people that are in a medically peril situation, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you were warned.
Yeah.
If you don't heed the warning, it is still on first responders' part to help. But I don't know what you want people to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
My question is that ineptitude on the government's part because you didn't heed the warning?
No, the government's got to do what they got to do. They got to, like I said, once again, California's a big state. So they got a lot of people that they have to deal with. And I'm sure that they've got their priorities categorized. We're going to take care of the old folks first, all right, and people that need medical help or whatever.
I don't know if when you call 911, they go, "Are you a senior citizen?"
Mhm.
And they go, "Okay, you're going to the top of the list." Maybe I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know how that works. And they're like, we've been stuck for like the person that went 6 miles hiking to get food.
Mhm.
It was day 5. You didn't buy food for 5 days?
You had plenty of opportunity.
They
yeah.
told you it was going to be a prolific event,
Mhm.
Yeah.
a historic snowfall.
This wasn't like a tornado warning where you get 15 minutes in advance. you
Even a
know?
tornado warning, they tell you tornadoes are a good possibility in
Right.
most cases.
That's true.
Right.
It isn't an earthquake, I'll give you that.
Maybe they just underestimated the severity of the situation. Which is more than likely what happened. You know, like, you've got a horrible snowstorm on the way. It'll be fine.
I think you're right. I think that's probably what happened.
Mhm.
It's like when New Orleans floods, I'm like, yeah, you live in a bowl.
Absolutely.
What do you think's going to happen?
Mm-hmm. You move to Florida, you should expect hurricanes.
Right.
You move to Oklahoma, you should expect tornadoes.
Yeah.
You know, one of those things. You move to Texas, expect it to be goddamn hot. For the most part.
I get when people say like, oh, it'll be nothing, because so many times we do see nothing. But that's just the way it is. That's just the way Mother Nature is. They are predictions for a reason.
Right. And I think the boy who cried wolf is what you're referencing is that people go, oh, last time they said this.
Mhm.
Meteorologists could be wrong.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I just, It sucks for them. I am sorry. But what do you want them to do? To imply that they're sitting around with their boots up on the desk laughing.
Well, they need to get helicopters out there.
Because you said it's not a joke. I don't think anybody thinks it's a joke.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people are calling going, hey, we need help. We're stuck in our cabin. And the first responders are like, yeah, awesome. Hey, man, we got another call. Another person stuck in their cabin. You believe that? Oof, so funny, these people. I don't think that's what's happening. Maybe. I guess it's possible. I
doubt it.
But it seems weird to see that happen. People are like trying to give solutions. Like, can a drone, I have a drone, can I get a drone and drop medication to those people? If you can get, like, a drone is only good, most like consumer grade drones are not capable of doing something like that.
Not in those kind of conditions. If you've got high winds and heavy snowfall, there's no way a drone you're getting from Walmart or, Hobbytown is going to be able to handle that.
Well, and not only that, is it equipped to hold something and then you got to land it?
Yeah.
And then where do you land it? And again, I'm not a drone operator. Maybe it's easier than it sounds, but if you can get close with the drone, maybe other people can't. I don't know.
I don't think you even have to land them, though. I think you can just drop.
Again, if your drone is equipped for that, which usually you have to rig a consumer grade or buy one that specializes in that.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, have you seen what they're doing in Texas? They are testing, Fly Drone or something like that, Fly Right. And there's tons of videos for it. Whataburger, and they'll deliver your food via drone to your house, and you'll watch it get delivered to, like, when it's approaching, and you go outside and you see the drone, and it's loud, and it drops a thing onto in front of your house, and then retracts the with a winch, and then it takes off, and you're like,
pretty neat.
It's also quite terrifying.
I did see a video of a guy that said, my mom insisted on getting drone delivery food service. And he walked outside and he's like, I think that's it coming. And yes, a big brown bag dropped. It was wings. He got wings delivered. Mom had chicken wings delivered by drone. And he said, and it was like, it just very carefully dropped the wings in their driveway. And he said, well, my God, the bag is warm. And
it was an insulated bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was awesome.
Have you seen the Walmart ones that they're doing?
No.
They're testing in Arkansas where you get your order, it goes in a box, and then they shove it into the crevice of the little glider. And then they put this glider on a slingshot, and then
and somehow it makes it to your house.
And then it makes it to your house, and it for lack of a better term, it pushes it out the backside. And then a parachute opens up, and it lands on your property.
It's incredible.
It's awesome. If I will totally be a guinea pig for this.
Yeah.
I'll be a guinea pig, sure.
Why not?
All those science experiments we had in middle school and elementary school where we're dropping eggs off a roof are finally coming to pay off.
It makes me think of the little parachute guy, the thing that you got at the dollar store as toy as a kid.
Army Man, yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Except this feels a little more finessed.
Absolutely.
Feels like they burred the edges off a little bit.
Man, I don't know, because technology problems happen, right? Let's just say this is delivering something to your house, your food or whatever, and short circuits and crashes into a car, and now you're out your food, and this car's had an accident because a drone crashed into it.
Yeah, this is an excellent point. Air Force is capable of making airdrops all the time with precision.
Good point.
Yeah, but they use helicopters, and they're dropping,
No, you ever seen them?
Humvees and stuff.
No, have you ever seen when they push a Humvee out of the back of a cargo?
I've seen Operation Dumbo Drop, yeah.
And they do it well. Yeah.
Right.
And they do it all the time.
Yeah. Sure, but once again, that's a C-5 cargo plane pushing a Hummer out the back of it. This isn't a drone,
a box of gummies, gummy bears.
And it's the military. They kind of been, practicing and doing that for a long time.
No, you got to figure out what argument you want. You can't go, the government doesn't know what they're doing, and then be like, no, they're experts at it. Which argument are you taking?
I'm just saying, I would rather trust the military and what they've been practicing on for decades as opposed to, a pimple-faced kid behind the joystick out at your local Walmart.
Somebody texted in about the snow situation and what we were talking about. Can you imagine walking 6 miles in an atmosphere that you cannot see your landmarks, street signs, or anything unless you are trained? Now, if you got your iPhone, right?
Mm-hmm.
It'll give you like, hey, it'll show you what it should look like, where you should be going.
Right.
But 9 feet of snow, you could step on a tree.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Or step off a cliff.
Yeah. And another texter said it didn't get 9 feet like over, right away in a second. Yeah.
Over time.
Even if they didn't, believe that it was going to happen, they saw it coming down. They should have known. Let's go to the store.
It'll be fine. It's not going to be that bad.
We live in the mountains. This is what it's supposed to do. Zoinks.
I didn't know. Save me.
All right, we got to take a break. We've got a pair of tickets to Jerry Cantrell with meet and greet. We'll give those away at 7:30. We'll see what Gimpy wants to talk about. Take a break. News quickies when we return.
You're listening out, and she ends up retrieving 10.8 grams of meth from the woman's box. And glove box. They ended up busting both of them for the same thing. They both got busted for trafficking meth. They both got busted for possession of marijuana and paraphernalia. And they are both sitting in the pokey right now.
I know some of you are thinking, did she get any breaks because she let them know she had illegal contraband inside her muff? Probably not. You're supposed to tell them.
Yeah, because if you go into the jail with it, that's an extra charge.
Viral video shows car dealer peeing on woman's ID. This happens in the beautiful state of Wisconsin. Police there are looking into a viral video that appears to show a car dealership urinating on a woman's driver's license. In a Facebook post, the victim said she left her ID at a used car dealership in Kenosha over the weekend. A few hours later, she was home eating cheese and then was horrified to see a video of someone peeing on it making the rounds on social media. It's unclear if anyone will be held accountable. On a positive note, the dealership wants to offer the victim a free car. Yeah. She apparently was trying to buy a car, changed her mind, called and said, I've left my ID. I'll send you $5. When you get the $5, will you mail me my ID?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they were like, oh, yeah, we'll mail it.
Uh-huh.
And then it shows them saying the name and everything, full stream. The video's on our thing, full stream onto this woman's ID. I am no expert in the automotive industry. Lindsay, for sure, in the room, is the automotive expert. Her husband works at a dealership. I know Gimpy has worked at a dealership.
Mm-hmm.
So I am by far not the expert. I will, however, say I think their career is over.
Yeah, definitely.
God, I hope so.
Definitely.
If you get to keep your job after pissing on somebody's license, man, there's something wrong with management at that position.
Yeah.
Now I can wrap my head around the idea that they were, they'd worked really hard on the deal and, working on commission and, that's going to put food on the table. And he was just pissed.
Yeah. Unless this customer
See what you did there.
completely was.
Nope.
No. Hear me.
There's
hear me.
no rational reason why you should be. Hold on. There's no rational reason why anyone should urinate on anyone else or on an ID.
I agree with you. So unless this customer was, completely awful to the person working there, and the person that works there is their number one salesperson, that's the only way they're going to keep that job, if they are their number
keep the
one
job.
Yeah.
I thought you were trying to argue why someone should piss on someone's ID.
No.
There's no reason.
No.
I don't care if that ID was stung by a jellyfish. No.
Right.
No, there's no reason.
It seems like a weird flex.
No.
You don't look cool.
No.
You look dehydrated, to be honest.
2 Florida paramedics suspended after pronouncing a live man dead. 2 West Central Florida paramedics. This happened on a Wednesday in Clearwater Fire and Rescue. They were placed on administrative duty. WTSP TV reported the incident first. The paramedics from Station 47 responded to a call about a 65-year-old man in cardiac arrest. This happened at his private residence, and they showed up. The responders pronounced the man dead shortly after their arrival. Clearwater Fire and Rescue said in a statement. They left the area once deputies from the sheriff's office arrived to investigate. And according to the news release, a deputy noticed the patient was breathing and requested medical crews to return to the scene. Then Largo fire rescue crews were called and reached the scene about 28 minutes later. And the man was then transmitted to a hospital where he's recovering, according to another TV outlet. Upon notification of the incident, the Clearwater Fire and Rescue Team immediately removed both fire medics from their normal duties and discontinued their abilities to provide patient care in conjunction with the county's medical director. They said, on behalf of the city, I apologize for the actions.
No, they're real sorry.
and the inactions of our crew during this incident. He said, we have strict policies and procedures in place that were not followed. According to our preliminary review, these two did not perform to the standard of care that our citizens expect and deserve.
They have to say that. They can't say they did everything according to code.
Yeah,
Right.
They can't.
because they didn't.
Because then everyone's going to be put under scrutiny. They've got to put it on those two people.
Mhm.
But I can't imagine they showed up with eating a Slim Jim and a big gulp going, yeah, he ain't moving. He looks dead. Maybe they didn't. But I'm assuming they showed up, followed the protocols. I don't know, put 2 fingers on the neck. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever those protocols are.
Mirror underneath the nose. He ain't breathing. He's got to be dead.
You're there. You call 911. Paramedics show up, and they just do 2 fingers under the throat, which is not a correct way to check to see if someone's alive, by the way. And they're like, yeah, they're dead. Do you, watching your loved one in this peril moment, who have called the people to save their life, go, yo, man.
Yeah.
Do your job. Do you get into it?
Satisfied.
Well, of course not. But do you get into an aggressive confrontation over the
You assume that they're doing their job right.
I think so, right?
You would just be like, well, I guess Tom's dead. They said he's dead. I got to take your word for it.
Did they put the thing on the finger and it didn't make any noise? And they were like, yeah, I put new batteries in it yesterday.
Right.
Right.
Well, my thing was, if they are an ambulance, and why weren't they taking the body themselves?
Ambulances don't take bodies.
Oh,
They transport to the hospital.
okay. Why weren't they doing that then?
Because they said it was dead.
It just all seems so weird.
When a body's dead,
Yeah.
they don't take it to the hospital.
Beg to differ. They took my mom to the hospital.
Did they?
St. John's.
But were they trying to save her on the
No,
way?
she was already dead. She was dead. Dead.
The two experiences
Dead.
the 2 experiences that I have had with dead people who have died in a home.
Yeah.
The ambulance comes, they don't take the body.
Yeah, when my mom died, I got the calls. We was on 21st, and they lived on 21st and Sheridan. Anyhow, so I get to the house, and the ambulance is backed up in the driveway, and they got her on the gurney, putting her in the back of the ambulance, taking her to the hospital. She's already pronounced dead.
It feels like an extra trip to take them to the hospital.
I don't know.
well, that's where the morgue.
It's not at the hospital. The hospital has a morgue.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know how it works out.
Yeah.
They did the same thing with my dad, too. My dad died at the house, and they picked him up, took him to the hospital, and that's where we got to say our final goodbyes.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't know. It's like, do you check? Maybe they check the ID. It's like, are they a organ donor? Maybe that's why you take the body to the hospital. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how that works out.
And so, again, I'm not an EMT. So, you're an EMT, they die. You go, all right, where's their wallet? I got to check their ID to see if they're an organ donor. How does that work?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think you let the people at the hospital deal with it. We're just here to drop the body off. Y'all figure it out.
And is there a code they call in? Do they do lights if they're taking a dead body to the hospital? Do they run code to the hospital?
Right, lights and sirens and the whole nine.
Yeah. I would think not. It's
Probably
not an
not.
emergency.
Right.
Exactly.
But if they're an organ donor, time is of the essence on those things.
Right.
They have a shelf life.
Man busted with a ton of child porn. So police in
Was
Florida,
he a cross-dresser?
you should see the mugshot. It's a doozy. Police got a tip in January about some child sexual abuse material being uploaded to the internet at this address.
It's the Crypt Keeper.
They check it out, and that's where they come. They find a 17-year-old Paul Zactel at his home. They searched the house. They found more than 220,000.
Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. Tickets to see Jerry Cantrell, who will be at the Canes on Saturday. TulsaTheater.com to get your tickets. We will be going over to see who the winner is on that at 7:30. But right now, we've got to do news quickies. These are stories you may have missed in the news. We cover them here and put a link on our Facebook page, facebook.com/BMMS69 if you want more.
It's time for news quickies, world news, local news, and news that just makes you say, what the Now here's Corbin, Gimpy, and Lindsay with what's going on. News quickies from the Big Man Morning Show at 97.5 KMOD.
Indiana neighbors' water dispute leads to mooning and restraining order. I love this story because I know exactly this neighborhood. A dispute between neighbors in LaPorte County resulted in a woman being mooned. The mooning happened last week in the 8600 block of West 125th South, according to the LaPorte County Sheriff's Office. Police said this woman was complaining because her neighbor was pumping water from his pond onto her property. She was standing at her home inside of her house and looked outside of her window where she saw her neighbor with a pump and a hose running from his pond to her yard. And she's staring at him, wondering what the hell is going on. And he drops his pants and moons her, and then he starts making a humping gesture towards her with his arms and hips. She didn't like that very much.
So confusing. What message is he sending?
So she calls the police, and according to the cops, the man did confess and defended his behavior. He said, "It's not my fault that she watches him while he's on his own property. If she doesn't like what she sees, she should look away." He says, "I'm just returning the woman's water with my pump. It's her storm water." He blames the construction of her new pole barn for disrupting the natural water flow and causing it to run from her property to his.
Pesky pole barn.
Yes, and the officer advised the woman to seek a protective order against the man if she feels the need for one, if she feels unsafe. The woman told investigators she also called the police the previous day, and they were able to get the man to stop pumping water onto her property.
I think when you moon someone, it's changing the game,
Uh-huh.
right? Like if I hump at you or I give you the bird, is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But when you show your bare ass to me,
Mhm.
it's now a crime.
Yeah.
It could be, yeah. It's a
You're
sex crime.
You're
yeah.
exposing your ass. It's
Yeah.
now a crime. Now, I don't necessarily agree it should be a crime,
Right.
but it is still.
Right. I wonder if you have to register as like a sex offender after that, right? You know how like if you get popped,
Oof.
pissing behind a dumpster outside of a bar, you're a sex offender now.
That is
And
true.
you're lumped in with the rest of the chomos and child molesters, right?
Because you're in public.
Yeah, it's indecent
It is-
exposure. You would absolutely have to register as a sex offender.
Yeah.
Man.
But I don't know if there was a child present, I think you would absolutely have to.
It makes sense.
No, if you get charged with indecent exposure,
Mhm. No matter what the case.
No
kids
matter
around or
who's
what.
around.
Yeah.
you have to register.
Right.
If you get caught having sex in a car in a parking lot and they ticket you and all that good stuff or fine you and all that,
Mhm.
a potential punishment could be you register as a sex offender. I know plenty of people that have peed dumpsters, no kids around,
Mhm.
and have to register as sex offenders.
Yeah. And then they're lumped in with the rest of the, child rapers and stuff. Ain't that something? You get your house pop up on a little red dot on a map, and people are like, "Steve, what happened?
Your
I see-
friend Steve.
Right,
Uh-huh.
right. You're on a sex offender list. Did you rape any kids lately?"
No, like no matter what you say,
Right. There's no getting around
I'm
it.
telling you, it's a game changer. I'm not a lawyer. I do not advise you show your bare ass to anyone. It ain't worth being put on a list.
It's just pumping water out of my pond.
And it's really childish way to just kind of, thumb your nose at somebody.
I mean,
Yeah.
flipping the bird, all that's childish.
Yeah.
Right?
I think like with flipping the bird, that really sends the message home. F you. When you pull your pants down and show your bare ass to somebody, it's just like, what are we, 6 now? Come on.
My kids share a bathroom. My kids are 5 and 7. And when my youngest will go to the bathroom and the other one's brushing teeth, she'll get down and keep her butt out and like smack her ass at her sister. And I'll go in there and I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, my butt, like the naked butt. I'm like, hey, ain't nobody wanting to see that.
Right.
Pull your drawers up.
I love how they are their own little people.
No, but also, if they're pumping water in your pond, apparently that is an appropriate response. Those two shouldn't be equal.
Right. And
Not
how
at
old
all.
was this guy, Lindsay?
Yeah.
Not 5.
Not 5, exactly. 5 arrested for using UPS to traffic cocaine. And this comes out of Texas, where they got a tip that there was a bunch of people that were using the UPS to ship cocaine across the country from March to October of last year. They say that the 2 employees would use their positions at UPS to make fake shipping labels, while the other 3 would store the cocaine at their apartment or whatever, and then deliver it to the UPS drivers or, guys that work there in the shop, and then they send it out. They busted them with 130 pounds of blow that they were trying to traffic across the country. Is that all 5 of them have been charged, and if they're convicted, they're all looking at life in prison and a $10 million fine.
How much cocaine?
130 pounds. A teenager.
How many people?
Adults. 5 people. 5 people.
I feel like that's a long prison sentence.
A life in prison for trafficking 130 pounds of cocaine from March to October of last year. I mean, that's how long they've been doing it. They got popped with 130 pounds just this last round.
I understand. I don't think they should not get punished, but their life's over?
Okay, what is a good...
It's a good question.
What is a good term?
It's a good question.
Duration?
10 to 20?
25 years, maybe? 25 years for trafficking 130 pounds of cocaine?
And how old were they?
One of them was 49. The other was 51. We've got one that's 48, one that's 58, and another one that's 45.
So a lifetime of trafficking drugs is what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, and based on these people's names, my guess is that they're working with the cartel. Orlando Almanza. Right?
Because you can't have that name anywhere in America without being associated with the cartel.
Well, Fidencio Salinas.
Again,
another one.
America's a melting pot, dude.
Javier Mendoza, Jose Lozano, and a guy named Enrique Gomez. I'm just saying, it's all there in Texas. Kind of makes sense where it's all kind of located and the people that are involved. I'm saying cartel.
You could be in the cartel in Minnesota.
Yeah. Do they have priors?
Right. Did they have priors is a great question.
It didn't
A
say
lifetime, though, feels not... It feels extreme.
But even
It
if
wasn't fentanyl.
even if you're giving them 25 years, right? That still essentially could be life in prison for these guys. I mean, because they're
typically,
in their late 40s and early 50s.
But typically in a story, when they say life in prison, they're implying
75 years.
Forever, right? If they would have been a 25-year prison sentence, they would have said 25.
Right. Not the end of your life in prison.
And yeah. Get out sooner.
Wildlife officials suggest folks eat bullfrogs. This is in Utah, where officials are encouraging folks to have bullfrogs for dinner. Bullfrogs are an invasive species in that area since it's National Invasive Species Awareness Week. That's why I paused. The Department of Natural Resources is using this time to remind residents that they can catch and eat as many bullfrogs as they'd like in Utah. The DWR has even posted a recipe for breaded bullfrog legs. Have you ever had frog legs, Lindsay?
Yes.
And?
Delicious.
Gimpy, have you ever had frog legs?
Oh, yeah. There's a place out in Pryor that sells them. Really good, too.
Yeah. They're fine. They're fine.
They're just really small.
Yeah, it's like eating flats, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love wings. and the flats, right?
Yeah.
But it's also a lot of work. It's more of like, this is fun. If that's what I'm eating for dinner, it's like a Cornish game hen. Like, that's so much work.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
Yeah, but if it's an invasive species, you've got plenty.
It's my duty.
Right.
Get out of here.
Right.
Go out there, start gigging frogs, and you get a good couple of dozen of them in there. You're like, hey, we got dinner for the night.
How about collect them and feed them to like animals in the zoo?
Sure, why not?
That's not a bad idea.
I don't know what animals eat them,
I was
but
just
if
about
they're
to ask,
overpopulated,
yeah. Uh-huh.
maybe there's a reason,
Mhm.
right? Like even animals are like, whoa.
Do we have any invasive species here in
Sure.
Oklahoma? Like
Deer?
what? Do we have too many deer here?
That's why there's deer season, Lindsay,
Well, I don't see a lot of them
to
here,
control the
though.
population. Yeah, because they control the population. We got a lot of deer hunters here. That's why deer hunting season exists, is to control the population
Sure.
of an invasive species like that.
I just don't see too many. I don't see it being too big of a problem here.
Again, because they do a good job of mitigating it, right?
Okay.
And what
Sure.
would it have to be for you to be like, that's a problem? Like you know, there's one on your corner of there by your house.
Well, like the one, like in Florida, when they were saying like the lizards or iguanas or whatever were falling from the trees.
right.
Well, that was because of the
Yeah.
temperature.
Right.
Mhm.
They go into brumation. So a lot of what we have here in Oklahoma seems to be plant life more than anything else. Here's just some of the animal life. Zebra mussels. Okay. And I've heard about that
Yeah.
before. Fire ants.
We're not eating those.
And that's about it when it comes to.
I bet its fire ants are everywhere.
The rest of it says here is just like plant life, like Dutch elm disease.
Sure.
And tamarisk, which is a small tree, and the Chinese bush clover.
Got to trim that back, man. You can't let it get out of control.
Yeah.
All these stories are on our Facebook page at facebook.com/BMMS69.
You're listening to the Big Man.
Ready.
All right, we're going to take it up from the top here. Euphoria. Corbin, yes.
That's a spa.
Euphoria is a dispensary. No points for anybody on that one. All right. Nirvana, day spa
Corbin.
or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin would be correct.
Come on, Lindsay.
You got to get in the game, woman. Get in the game. All right. Omni Oasis, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Day spa.
Day spa is correct. So far, we're tied 1-1. La Fusion, day spa or dispensary? La Fusion.
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin, that is incorrect. La Fusion is a day spa. Poppies, day
Corbin.
spa or the dispensary? Corbin,
That
yes.
is a day spa.
Yes, you are correct. Poppies is a day spa. 2-1 so far. Corbin's lead. OHG, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay,
Dispensary.
that is correct. Tied
What'd
up.
you say?
OHG. That's all it is. These are all the ones. I just found them on Google.
Sure.
I just simply Googled day spa and then Googled dispensaries and then found a bunch of them that
Sure.
are really close.
I just
It
couldn't
could
hear.
be
I didn't
confused.
hear you
Yeah.
because you were going so fast. I didn't hear you. I
OHG.
didn't know it was
I wonder
letters.
what that stands for.
I have no idea. Nonetheless, moving forward, 918 Elevate, day spa or dispensary? 918 Elevate.
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
Dispensary.
That is correct. Corbin's in the lead, 3-2. One Love Wellness, day spa.
Corbin.
You got to pick it up, Lindsay. Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin, One Love Wellness is indeed a
Wow.
dispensary. Yes. Corbin killing it right now. Lotus Blossom,
Corbin.
day spa or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
You are wrong, my friend.
You
Lotus-
might need to.
Lotus
Okay.
Blossom is a day spa. Go ahead, Google
I
it.
know there's a dispensary called Lotus.
There's one called Lotus Gold, not Lotus Blossom. See, and that's the fun part about this game because they can be
No, somatic,
they're
sure.
so close. All right, Indigo, day spa or dispensary? Lindsay.
That is a dispensary.
Indigo, Lindsay is a day
Yeah.
spa.
Oh,
So
bummer.
far, it's 4-2. Corbin's lead. Hand and Stone, day spa
Lindsay.
or dispensary? Lindsay.
Spa.
All right, Lindsay, you are correct on a comeback.
I've been there.
It's a 50-50 guess.
Right, of course. All right, Rosebuds, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
I'm going to go dispensary.
Lindsay would be correct. Rosebuds is a dispensary, tied up 4-4. Jade Wellness Center, day spa
Corbin.
or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a wellness, or that is a day spa.
Corbin, Jade Wellness Center is a dispensary. Still tied 4-4. Deluxe, day spa or
Corbin.
dispensary? Corbin.
That is a spa.
Corbin, you are incorrect. Deluxe is a dispensary. Nature's Kiss.
I think that's both, actually.
Who knows? This is just the information that
who
was
cares if
given.
it's accurate?
Yeah. All right, Nature's Kiss, day spa or dispensary?
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
That is correct, my friend. Corbin just made 5-4. Aqua Viva Oasis, day
Lindsay.
spa or dispensary? Lindsay.
Spa.
Lindsay is correct. All right, so we're tied up 5-5. Fig Medical, day spa or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin, that is incorrect. Fig Medical is a day spa.
I was thinking because like sweet,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
like sometimes you know it smells like
You're
a fig.
thinking medical marijuana.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
All right. All right. Remember, this is for a big prize at the end of the
Sure.
at the end of the game here.
Sure.
You are going to love the prize that I have
Leftovers.
chosen for you.
Leftovers.
Right, it's a
Okay.
roach.
Right. Right.
Bong
And not
water.
the one you smoke.
It's the crumbs.
Laura Apothecary, day
Lindsay.
spa or dispensary? Lindsay.
Dispensary.
Lindsay is incorrect. The
Yeah, it's a
Laura
spa.
Apothecary is a day spa. Lucky Garden, day spa or dispensary?
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That's a dispensary.
Lucky Garden, Corbin is a day spa. So far, we got 6 to Corbin and 5 to Lindsay. The Health Center, day spa or dispensary?
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
That is correct. You sound like you've been there before.
To me, the name was just so obvious. There's no
Right.
way you're going to call an actual spa that.
Right, the Health Center. Supreme Heights, day spa or
Corbin.
dispensary? Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin would be correct. All right, so we're looking at 8-5, Lindsay.
Okay.
All right, we're down in the home stretch of this thing. All right, the Enchanted Cottage, day
Corbin.
spa or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin is incorrect. That is a day spa.
Why are people calling here asking if we have weed?
Got any specials on an ounce, man?
It's called Enchanted.
Wildflower, day spa
Corbin.
or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
That is incorrect, Corbin. Wildflower is a day spa. All right, Clover Patch, Tulsa, day spa or
Lindsay.
dispensary? Lindsay.
Dispensary.
Lindsay would be correct.
What's the score?
6-8, Corbin's
Okay.
lead. All right, the Merry Mind, day spa or
Lindsay.
dispensary? Lindsay.
Spa.
Lindsay. The Merry Mind is a dispensary. All right, the Relax Station, day spa
Corbin.
or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a spa.
That is correct. Corbin is up 9-6. Path to Wellness, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Dispensary.
Lindsay, Path to Wellness is a
Oh,
day
I'm
spa.
sorry. I thought you said packed.
Oh, yeah. Was that the
wellness.
problem?
Yeah, I thought it said packed.
Sure, yes. Let me enunciate a little bit more, shall we? All right, let's see here. Heirloom, day spa or dispensary? Heirloom, day spa or dispensary?
Corbin.
Corbin.
That's a dispensary.
Corbin, Heirloom is a day spa.
Mm.
You're still in the lead 9-6. He's okay. Tulsa Garden, day spa or dispensary?
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD is the phone number. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Let's see what Lindsay has for Balls to the Wall Sports.
Balls to the wall, man. Balls to the wall. Balls to the wall.
Alabama's players stood at midcourt throwing on T-shirts to celebrate an SEC regular season championship. They did it at home against their biggest rival in a comeback that the school hadn't experienced for at least a decade. They brought out signs celebrating a title and cut down nets after a 90-85 overtime win versus Auburn yesterday. The Crimson Tide trailed by 17 points with 10:49 left in the second half, making it Alabama's biggest comeback since at least the 2010-11 season. It was also the school's first overtime victory over Auburn since 1985. After the game, the school did not make players available to reporters for the sixth
Wonder
straight
why.
media session. Exactly. The past 2 weeks they've seen increased scrutiny of Alabama and its number 2 basketball program for off-court reasons, of course. That murder trial still ongoing.
Trial?
Yeah, the case. Well, yeah. Not quite
I don't think there's been a trial yet.
right.
They're trying to figure out who's who.
Well, there was the preliminary hearing, I suppose, on February.
For the
2nd,
guy they have
February.
arrested.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. Brandon Miller. They know that he had driven the car that contained the weapon used in the shooting. And Darius Miles is the ex-teammate now that is in that whole ordeal. The Kevin Durant dropped in 23 points in his son's debut as Phoenix cruised past the Hornets 105-91 in Charlotte. Durant made his first appearance for Phoenix following the blockbuster trade from Brooklyn last month. The 13-time All-Star had been out since early January with a knee injury. Devin Booker poured in a game-high 37 points for the Suns, who have won 7 of their last 10. Kelly Oubre Jr. scored 26 points to pace the Hornets, who saw their 5-game winning streak come to an end. The Warriors could be getting their star point guard back next week. ESPN reports Steph Curry could return during Golden State's 3-game road trip next week. Curry has been sidelined since February 4th after suffering a left leg injury in a win over the Dallas Mavericks. The Warriors are set to reevaluate the 34-year-old guard this week after saying Curry was making good progress last week. Golden State is 5-4 in the past 9 games that Curry has missed. And top NFL prospect Jalen Carter says he'll be exonerated in Georgia for reckless driving and racing related to a deadly crash. Athens Clark County Police said Carter and Georgia football recruiting analyst Chandler LaCroix were allegedly operating their cars in a manner consisting of racing on January 15th. Carter has denied he was racing before the crash, which killed LaCroix and offensive lineman Devin Willock. Police said LaCroix's blood alcohol level was more than twice the legal limit in Georgia at the time of the crash. Carter is a projected top 5 pick in the upcoming NFL draft and was a star defensive tackle for the Georgia Bulldogs, winning back-to-back national championships. And that's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite, the original.
Vacations are nice. Absolutely.
Can you work on a
But-
problem on a vacation, Lindsay?
I don't think so. Because
This
once
isn't a
you get
problem. This is a
back-
crack in the foundation.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Because once you get back, everything's right there, Yeah.
What are some other
And-
things he could try?
I think he
Entertain the
begs,
idea. No
goes
bad
on
ideas.
hands and knees and
Begs?
begs. What do you want me to do? I will do anything you want me to do.
Full way to get into a conversation with somebody, right? And this is why. Because you want to fix it, you have to come up with ideas. Not me.
Mm-hmm.
You want to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I have to tell you how to fix your problem?
Mm-hmm.
Not just this, any scenario. If you have to go to the person and be like, tell me what I have to do to fix this, then you shouldn't be in it. It's a horrible way to get into a conversation with somebody to try and rectify a problem. Because it means you don't know. You haven't even entertained ideas.
Right.
How about a candlelight dinner?
That's
not
good
enough.
and gravy and all, but the distractions there, man. You're not going to be able to enjoy your candlelight dinner. You're not going to be able to do much of anything fun, a vacation or anything like that, because there's a giant elephant in the room.
Again, we're just trying to convince
Mm-hmm.
for a second chance.
Mm-hmm.
What about a spa day?
Sure. I'll go ahead and let you spend your money on me so I can go and feel better.
Yeah, is he
about
going to
myself.
send her on a spa day? I think he needs to go to her and definitely he needs to know from her what she expects from him,
I don't think.
what he wants her to
Come
do.
on,
What-
Lindsay.
yeah,
Come
no.
on. Come on, Lindsay.
Taking
Come on,
her-
Lindsay.
What?
What he expects of her.
What
Don't have
she
sex with
wants him
other
to do.
people.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what the expectation is.
Absolutely. But he's done it. He's done the damage.
Yeah, so
Right.
we're
He's
talking about a
done the
second
damage.
chance.
Exactly.
So what do we're just talking about crazy ideas.
Yep.
Commit to
Yeah.
an idea, Lindsay.
Yeah. So going on vacation, sure, it's nice, but now he gets to go on a vacation too. Like, it's almost like, I don't know if I want to go on a vacation with you right now.
Hall pass. You want a crazy idea? Give her a hall pass.
There,
Give her an
yeah.
opportunity to even Stevens this thing.
Okay.
Mhm. And she doesn't have to tell him about it. Ever.
Well, no, she knows about his, so I feel like it has
It's
to be
only
even.
fair, yeah.
If it's even, it's even.
No.
Why do you not get to tell anybody?
Maybe she doesn't even take him up on it. He'll never know.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Let him wonder. Did she or didn't she?
yeah. Usually works.
Hey, usually does.
Yeah.
Withholding information.
Yeah. People have already texted him what my feelings are on this. To me, it's quite clear. But they are asking.
Yeah.
Right? They are going, what's some scenario? What's a scenario? What is a possibility? Brandon is on. Hey, Brandon, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. What do you think?
From a person who's been cheated on multiple times, I say the damage has already been done. But if he wants to win her over, they've been married 10 years. Renew your vows. Make new vows. Tell her you're committed to her and only her. You know, just go and renew your vows. That might win her over. You never know.
Right, a mulligan.
Right.
Yeah, pull a mulligan.
Yeah.
Pull that mulligan card. Pull it all day long.
You said that you've been cheated on multiple times, Brandon. Would that have worked with you?
No, because I stayed with someone who cheated on me 9 times.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are you
But
blind? Are you blind?
Well, I lived 7.5 hours away from my family at the time. So I was kind of forced just to stick around because I was in a state I didn't know. I wasn't from that state. So I stuck around and rode out the roller coaster.
What was her excuse on the 7th time?
His excuse was I was away from the house for 2 weeks on walk and he got lonely.
So this is your boyfriend?
Yeah, it was my ex.
Yeah.
But when he said that, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I took the call around midnight when he was drunk, took the call, and I left and never looked back.
Rip that Band-Aid, huh?
I just left. I was done.
Wait, that was the 7th time.
Yeah. And then
I you came back.
Took the call back because I was like, oh, maybe you changed. And the 9th time was finally the draw.
For him cheating, I'm just being really honest. Him cheating 9 times, do you blame him or yourself?
I blame myself for being blinded by love.
But it wasn't. No, it wasn't, though.
No, it was not my fault. But I mean, I kept going back.
No, it's your fault. It wasn't love.
It was my own stupidity trying to think I can change someone.
Right. Hope. Well, it was hope. You were hoping. You were hoping he'd love you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Brandon, have a great day, man.
You too.
All right, see you later.
These texts are good.
Scott is on. Hey, Scott, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, buddy. What do you think?
You know, let's be real. I love some of the comments, and you guys especially, but let's be real. You're not going to be able to give her a hall pass because we as men are never going to forget that. We're never going to stop dwelling on it. And, you know, and we're going to be the demise of that at that point. I think there's only one way to really do it. Either walk away because you can't tell me guilt took over after. You were enjoying it then. You went out for that purpose to go meet somebody. So either open this up to an open relationship, ask her, hey, do you want an open relationship, or walk away now, brother, because you lost it.
Let me ask you, Scott, what would be an argument they would have had that would have not justified him cheating, but going out and being completely reckless? Like what's something?
Well, she would have had to cheat. I mean, the only way I'm ever going to cheat is she walks to me and says she just cheated. I'm walking out. I'm going to get me some, and I'm done with this relationship.
But then, I mean, you're
I mean,
not
let's
really
be real
cheating
as
at
a
that
man.
point, are you, Scott? You're not.
Mm-hmm.
You know, until that divorce, I get it. But there's no hall pass or dinner or vacation. I agree with her vacation. That means she's not going to forget that. I don't care if 5 years down the road, that's going to be in every argument you have.
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well either walk away or open this thing up and let's become swingers.
Just walk up to her with a pineapple in hand.
Right on, man.
Upside down it, baby.
All right, Scott, have a great day, friend.
You too, guys.
All right, see you later.
Got a great idea to fix the situation.
I'm
fruit.
I hear that. Like, if she cheats, I'm going out right and cheating, and cheating right away. It's going to be like the movie Hall Pass. I'm going to Applebee's and having wings and going to bed at 9. Like,
Yeah.
Right, because that's our routine now.
No,
That's where we're at.
no, I don't have the game. Like, what are you talking about? It's not like I'm turning down women every time I go out the door.
You go to the bar, you wait till about, 1:45-ish.
Oh,
You find the biggest woman with the least amount of teeth in her face, and you say, you're coming with me.
I got to be honest. If I'm cheating as revenge, it ain't just going to be on crumbs. Listener email, I'm about to get divorced from my wife of 10 years
Homeless
because
people eat out of garbage cans,
I
Corbin.
made a stupid mistake and had a one-night stand. We got in an argument. I left, went to the bar, and slept with some woman. Almost immediately, the guilt took over me. She's told me it's over. But I have to try. What can I do to get her or to give our marriage a second chance? Lindsay.
Okay, so he already did the most awful thing he could have done, and that was cheat. But he was honest. So he's got that going for him at least. And if he wants to work things out, he's going to have to take the blame and take whatever is coming to him. If she is pissed, let her be pissed and just take it. Take the anger and just wait it out and see what she wants to do. The ball is absolutely 100% in her court. So whatever she wants, she gets at this point. If you want to stay in this marriage, if she wants to go through therapy, then you guys are going to go to counseling together. If she wants just you to go to counseling, then you're going to have to go to counseling because the ball is absolutely 100% in her court.
Gimpy.
Yeah, man, there's really nothing you can do, honestly. Just sit back and take your lumps as they are. All right. If she wants it to work, she'll figure it out. She's gonna be mad AF for a long time. And you're gonna have to deal with it. You're gonna have to deal with being boring. There's not gonna be any time going out with the boys or going out doing what else, And if you can't handle that, then you need to walk away. You need to realize, well, I effed this one up. I'm just going to go ahead and take my ball and I'm going to go home and then I'll come back and play the game another day. You know what I'm saying? It's just, there's nothing really you can do. Just let time pass it on by. That's it.
I'm sorry. I have no gimmick for you that will work. You tell her you want it to work. You made a giant mistake and you're willing to work through it. She doesn't hear that. You got your answer. It's pretty black and white, man.
Yeah.
You have to eat your S sandwich. And when you go on and date in the future and be asked what happened with your marriage, you got to be honest. You S'd the bed royally. And so either you tell her what you want and hope she appeases you, but why beg someone to be with you?
I like young Sheldon way more than the Big Bang Theory.
If you ever say that again, I'm going to call the HR department.
Why? Big Bang Theory is a giant turd.
That's the most offensive thing I think I've ever heard you say.
Young Sheldon it's not the greatest, but it's better than Big Bang Theory.
I am so disappointed in you right now. You've done some things that are pretty crazy, and this might be the most disappointing thing I've ever heard you say.
He was the executive producer of Cowboys and Aliens.
I feel like you and I run in succession on a lot of things. Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show. A couple ways to talk to us. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text if you want, BMMS, and then what you want to say to 82945. I'm Corbin. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning. Monday, April 24th at the BOK Center. Don't miss out on our 50th anniversary concert. Get your tickets with Shinedown and 3 days grace before they are all sold out at bokcenter.com.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Morning, Corbin. Hey, if you want to spend a Friday St. Patrick's Day bar hopping and drinking with me, just hit up the website that rockskmod.com. It's on the contest page. Look for the Shamrock Showdown.
Let's see what Gimpy has.
Around the world, take my strong hand, get on the give train, on the give train. Around the world, take my strong hand, get on the Give train. Give train.
Corbin,
Gimpy,
when was the last time life kicked you in the balls?
daily.
No, like seriously though, like
Daily?
the last major blow. I mean, all right, so you say daily. What happened yesterday that life kicked you in the balls?
I found out I got to pay a $20,000 bill.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a
Ooh.
kick in the balls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, definitely. I was thinking probably the water pipe issue, but that's okay.
That was 3 years ago.
Yeah. Lindsay, when was the last time life kicked you in a cooter?
Um, you know what? Probably yesterday as well. Same type of issue when I opened my mailbox and got my bill for my colonoscopy. Yeah.
Insurance doesn't pay for that.
yeah,
But you knew that
insurance-
was coming.
Well, I mean, I didn't think it was going to be that huge of an out of pocket expense. It's not $20,000, thankfully.
That's fun. I'm glad that you brought that up, Corbin. Life kick in the balls, unexpected, right? Corbin's was unexpected.
A car wreck.
A car wreck. So, Lindsay, when was the last unexpected kick in the cooter you got?
Yeah. When something breaks down like that, or you know what, when a kid has yesterday, yes, when Leo ran out of his prescription medicine and he needs it for school. Otherwise, I get a phone call from his teacher. Did he not take his meds this morning? Because I can tell. Yeah. Well, now it's not a refill. You have to make a doctor's appointment.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You
Yeah.
think they give them enough, but okay.
You'd think you'd be able to check.
Yeah, right.
Well-
You're like, I've got 3 left.
Exactly.
I should
But
call the doctor. There's 10 feet of snow outside. I should be
Right.
prepared for this.
I don't give them to him in the morning.
Mm.
Dad does.
Oh, okay.
So it's one of those, hey, I just gave him his last pill this morning. Oh, thanks.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I didn't warn you ahead of time.
Mm.
That was a kick.
Yeah.
In the
Okay.
cooter.
Okay. I feel like out of all the people on the show that's been here, past and present, I get kicked in the balls by life a lot more than anybody else. You think that's fair to say?
No, I don't think that's fair to say.
Okay.
I think that
Maybe
each
it's
person
just,
individually feels like they're kicking the balls is the heaviest.
Mhm.
And so you think you're getting kicked in the balls all the time.
Gotcha. Well, I remember I just shared with you guys on Monday my swift kick from life's balls, in the balls with DHS, right? And how their clerical error screwed me pretty heavily on that one. I get home yesterday and here's another swift kick in the nuts.
Uh-oh.
Love it. And go home. I'm like, all right, day's over. Go let the dogs out. And while they're doing that, I'm going to go fix my lunch. I open up my refrigerator and it is hot as balls in there.
No.
I says, what is going on? Now, here's the deal, man. It kind of been dripping a little bit lately. And I was like, okay, it seems a little weird, but everything's cool on the inside, so I'm all right with it. I open up the refrigerator door and it's hot. I check the temperature on the little touchpad that it has there, and it's 64 degrees inside my refrigerator. It was nicer inside my fridge than it was outside. Oh, hell. All right. Well, let's check the freezer and see what it's at. 48 degrees. Ah, damn it. This is not something that I need right now. Okay. So I'm frantically trying to figure out what the hell am I going to do? What am I going to do? What? All right. So first things first, I need to get the food out of the fridge and out of the freezer somewhere.
I think it's too late, but go ahead.
Well, the food in the freezer was still frozen. It hasn't started thawing yet. And I'm like, all right, cool. And there's down there. I got this T-bone when I got groceries last. I'm like, all right, that's going to go and thaw out because that's what I'm having for dinner tonight. I need to get the rest of it. Luckily for me, I have a freezer, a deep freezer in my garage. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I got it figured out. I'm going to go ahead and take all the food out of the freezer and I'm going to put it in the other freezer in the garage. Now, keep in mind, I have lived in that duplex for 3 years now. I haven't opened up this deep freezer in about 4. Years.
You don't go and get chicken nugs, huh?
No. We had it stocked at my brother's house with some things in there. And then when I moved out of that, I just put it in the garage and plugged it in and left it there, thinking, surely I'll dig in there at some point in time or whatever. So I open up the freezer and I'm finding stuff that I haven't seen in longer than 4 years.
Is your lizard still in there?
No, lizard was a different freezer. Remember the lizard freezer, the freezer that the lizard was in went out as well. And that's how I knew that, that it went out, because that started stinking. And I'm like, why does it smell like a rotten body in here? Oh, yes, the freezer went out. So I'm like, all right, well, crap. I got to dig all this stuff out. And I got to figure out what I'm going to do, because I got to make room for this other stuff. Okay. So I start pulling out pieces of like wild hog that a friend had given me like 7 years ago.
Oh my
like
God.
this, I had this when I was married. I got divorced in like 2018. That's how long this hog had been sitting in my freezer, right? And I'm like, all right. I'm pulling out bunches of old bananas because my most recent ex, the bananas kind of went south, and she's like, let's put these in the freezer and we'll thaw them out. We'll make banana pancakes out of them sometime. At the time, it sounded fantastic. I was
saved those 48 cents, man.
Boy, I'm telling you. And I got these like 2 big old bunches of black nanners in my fridge or my freezer. You put those in the trash can. I'm finding ice cream that I haven't seen. I was like, homemade vanilla? What the hell? Because I'm not just a plain vanilla kind of guy. I think last time I had plain vanilla, I had like root beer floats. That was a long time ago. And I'm finding freezer pops, I'm talking about the little frozen Kool-Aid ones that, when you rip them open and they cut your lips because, you're trying to get the juice out of. I'm like, when did I get these? And I'm pulling I found a frozen deer tail.
What?
From like years ago.
What's the point of keeping one?
Okay, so remember when we had we were at La Fortune, we were doing the toy drive, and I put that it was a deer penis in the box, and I had previous gal, play the box at the. And I had a friend that just gave me random deer parts. A deer penis was one of them. I found a tongue in the bottom of my freezer. I was like, what is this in this little bag? I'm like, S, that's a tongue. I'm like, I don't think I need this anymore. I found the deer tail and I'm like, I definitely don't need this anymore as well. And I'm like, Jesus, I threw almost everything out except for one thing. And it was a ham. It's a whole ham. Remember when we used to get hams around Thanksgiving and Christmas?
Yeah.
That's how long the ham's been in there. And I'm like, well, it's frozen. It should still be good. Right? Surely.
If it's not freezer burned.
I guess I won't know until I open it up.
Maybe this is why you've been kicked in the balls so many times, because you've been holding on to all of this stuff from your past.
Right. I do have a problem of living in the past, but
he's a pack rat. He keeps a lot.
Yeah, I just put that stuff in there and I forget about it. And I'm like, all right, well, crap. Okay, so I get all the stuff out of the freezer and I put it in the freezer. And I'm like, all right, this is great. What am I going to do with all this stuff in the fridge, though? I don't want to put my milk in the freezer. I don't want to put my creamer in the freezer because I'm going to need it. And I don't want to have to chip it away when I wake up in the morning to have a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, I got a couple of coolers in the garage and I grab them. And I just start stuffing it. One cooler is full of nothing but beer. And I think I put my milk in there and my creamer as well. And then I had an unopened bag of ice and I dumped that on top of them. I'm like, all right, this is good for now. And then the other cooler is housing all my condiments and stuff. And I was thinking, well, surely does ketchup freeze? I don't know. Does mayonnaise freeze? I don't know, but I don't want to mess with it in case it does because, once you freeze something and then you thaw it out, it changes everything, right?
Yeah.
It'll be
Especially
gross.
the mayonnaise, it'd be all watered down and stuff like that. And to be honest with you, I can't afford to go and have to restock everything. So I'm trying to salvage everything.
Well, to be fair, you don't need everything at once. So you wouldn't be restocking everything at once.
True that. But it's like, all right.
Anything that got over like 40 degrees
Mhm.
in your fridge,
Mhm.
you have to throw out. It will make you sick.
Oh, absolutely. Like the eggs.
Yes.
Luckily for me, there was only like 2 in that carton a dozen.
You want to know the twisted thing about eggs?
Mhm.
Once they're refrigerated, they have to be. Otherwise, they'll stay forever on your shelf, on your counter.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep, they're naturally created to be okay on the shelf.
So if you're getting them straight from the farm or whatever, I can keep them on the
Yes,
counter. It's all
farm-fresh
good.
eggs.
But the fact that I get them from the Walmart or whatever
Yep.
grocery store
They've
and
been
they've already
pasteurized and all that, yeah,
ain't
yeah.
that's some bull.
Yep.
All right. Well, I learned something new today. So all right. So I threw my lunch meats out.
Oh
All
yeah.
right, I threw out the eggs. I kept the milk.
Oh no.
It's almond milk. So I'm
Then
like,
quit calling it milk.
because it's not really milk. And the only reason I got that is because it takes 4 months for it to expire.
It's still not milk. It takes the nuts 4 months to expire. It
Yeah.
ain't milk.
And I'm telling you, I tried it with some cereal, and I'm like, this
Yeah.
is not good.
Because it's not
Why
milk.
the
Right.
hell is this even an option? All
It's
right?
not.
It is an option at the
If
grocery
you
store.
are lactose intolerant, that thing is put in by the milk to make you think. It's a marketing ploy.
Okay.
It is not milk.
I'm like, all right, I gotta keep this. And I kept the creamer, and it's all on ice. And I used the creamer this morning, and I haven't crapped myself or vomited yet. So I think I'm still pretty solid on.
Is it like
this one.
Coffee Mate creamer?
Yeah.
Oh, that
You can
stuff
be
will,
all right.
yeah, that stuff's gonna last forever, dude.
Yeah.
It's a
So
nuclear device right there. It'll
right,
yeah, it is.
cockroaches, Twinkies, and then the coffee make.
It ain't real food, so
You're good.
yeah.
All right, so I get everything.
Did you tell the landlord?
Oh, it's my fridge. It's mine. It's not. It didn't come with the house. The house didn't come with the refrigerator.
Oh,
the house only came with
no.
the stove. Right.
Bummer.
I got you.
Well, I'm thankful, but I already got the situation taken care of.
Okay.
Oh.
I called a buddy of mine yesterday because he just moved out of his apartment. He's like, I've got a storage full of stuff that I'm not going to use. If you need anything, you let me know. TVs,
God, you fall into just the
washers,
crazy
No
scenarios.
kidding.
Xbox, all this stuff. And I'm like, bet. All right, I know Jason's got me covered, man.
Jason.
So I
He's awesome.
I call him up. Ring, ring, ring. Ring, ring, ring. Ring, ring, ring. Goes to voicemail. You son of a bitch. All right, fine. I text him, call me when you can. Well, my impatient ass couldn't wait because there's no telling when this cat's going to call me back. It could be tomorrow by the time he
Yeah.
calls me back.
Yeah.
And here I am. I need something. I need it
He'll
now.
have frozen almond milk
I
when he
need
gets
it
home.
now.
Right.
So I ended up going down to the same place that I got my television and my washer and dryer, and I got a new refrigerator coming on the way. It'll be here today.
Oh, you bought one?
I know.
You financed and bought one.
I know, but I didn't.
Maybe
know
you're
what
getting
else
kicked
to
in the
do.
balls because you're letting it happen.
I don't know what else to do. I reached out to my one lifeline that I knew that I'm solid right
Come
there.
on, we're such good friends. You can call me Fatty. I think you could have called me and asked me
Yeah.
if I knew someone.
Well, if you've got extra refrigerators, I know you've got one in the garage. It's like the beer fridge or whatever.
Yep.
But here's the thing, and like same way with Boss, whatever. I know he's got a beer fridge in his garage. But like, and here's my way of thinking: if I got a garage fridge that's stocked full of beers, I'm using it. It has a purpose. I'm not going to get rid of it.
Here's your
anytime
problem.
soon.
You don't know people's scenarios.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So I was like, I did
I'm
know.
getting ready to put a kegerator in so I could buy a beer
Nice.
fridge.
I knew this guy had one, and I was like, all right, this is going to be the route to go. And he ended up not. He called me back. He did, but as well after the fact.
Just too impatient, huh?
after I'd already done signed everything and then went back home, and I was like, all right, at least I get a new fridge today, which is good. It's getting delivered today.
Okay. How much do you think, Lindsay?
I'm
How
gonna
much do you think he
go-
financed?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with 800.
It's not bad. I Did you go bougie or did you go basic AF?
Oh, I wanted to go bougie. I'm telling you, I seen one. I got a camera on the inside, a touch screen, and it connects to you.
Did you go middle of the ground?
I went middle of the
ground. Okay, I'm gonna go 1,200.
Wow. All right. Lindsay, you said 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, Corbin nailed it. $1,200.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a decent fridge. It doesn't have, all the other stuff. It's got ice and water, which is really ultimately what I wanted in the fridge. As long as I can have that, we're good. But I'm like, all right, we get it done, and it was a decent deal. Yeah, I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of it, but I was like, I had to do something.
Yeah,
because I can't. I don't have $800, $1,200 cash. Boom, here's a new fridge.
You're suddenly acting like it.
But
yeah, right.
I look on the Facebook Marketplace and I'm like, all right, because you could find some good deals on there, right? And I found most of them were in the 3s and 4s, and I was like, well, I ain't got that kind of cash either. I was like, there's one for $80. You buy an $80 refrigerator, you get an $80 refrigerator. And that's kind of why I went the route that I did, because when you get used appliances, man, it could go out on you any time, and you're just right in the same boat that you were. I learned that with my last washer, right? And I replaced the one and then got another one that was given to me. Oh, it works just fine. It did for a second, and then it stopped wanting to spin. So I learned my lesson when it comes to used appliances.
There's a place in North is J&J? There's
J&J appliance.
And I bought I don't know how many things there.
Mm-hmm. I get it. But here was my conundrum, right? It's like I still have yet to get full groceries for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I got to survive.
Yeah.
Right? I only have X amount of dollars in my bank account.
Yeah.
So it's like buy groceries or spend everything you got on a refrigerator and have nothing to put in it.
I hear you.
You know what I mean?
Hear you.
It was just another swift kick in the balls from life that whatever.
Around the world, take my strong hand, get on the give train, on the give train. Around the world, take my strong hand, get on the give train, give train.
Of other grown men playing a kid's game, getting paid a king's ransom. They get that mad. And I'm not saying you're not invested and you can't be a fan, right? I get it. It's been your team forever.
Right.
You've been there for the ups and downs. But getting mad, I'll accept throwing a beer.
Sure.
That I'm like, yeah, emotions get the best of you.
Yeah, heat of the moment. Sure, why not?
You threw a beer, walked 10 feet, punched a television multiple times. Then it fell. You then made a movement towards your waist, knowing what was there.
Right.
Unholstered.
Or
unwaistbanded, I guess.
Right.
And then fired not once, not twice, not 3 times, multiple shots. You had plenty of chances as adult to control your emotions.
Yeah.
There is no way this individual that I saw in that video does not beat his wife.
Oh,
exactly.
Has to, man.
That is, your ass is out of here. Go stay in a hotel.
I think, okay, I love your thought. When do you do that?
When do you tell him to leave?
Oh, as soon as he punches the TV, what are you thinking?
So you're going to try and yell at him while he's shooting the television? At what point, when someone's acting that way, do you intercept, Lindsay?
Yeah, because clearly this isn't the first time. This isn't the first outburst.
They just got boxes of TVs lying around.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Heck,
especially as a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, this clearly wasn't the first time. So before that's happened, you would do it.
No, we're talking about this instant. No, we're talking about this instance. Okay, he punches the TV. He shoots it. At what point do you engage with him and say, "We're done. You're out of here"?
Is she a friend or is she the old lady?
Old lady.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I like that.
I suppose after he empties his rounds of the gun.
I think that's a bad call.
It would have to be after.
I think that's a bad call. That's like telling somebody who's amped up to calm down.
Right. It just ain't going to work. It ain't going to work because you know what's going to happen? Chances are he's going to go reload, either grab another magazine or grab the box of ammo and reload the one that he just emptied and then take it out on you.
Yeah.
I'm good on that.
Or use his fist or whatever.
Yeah, I'm good on that. If I was the old lady in the situation, I'd just grab me and my 5 kids and I'd go stay in a hotel somewhere and then let him sit in there, be drunk AF as he is, let him look at his beat up, shot at television, and let reality sit in and sink in of what he's actually done. Let him go to bed. Let him wake up sober.
See the TV again.
See the TV again with the bullet holes in the television and probably in the walls. And then we'll figure it out from there. Be like, listen, bro, you shot the television. How do I know that me, Miguel, Vera, and the rest of them are all... He's Cowboys fan, so I'm just assuming. But how do we know that we're not next? I'm not going to take this chance.
Do you call the police?
Oh, this is the next day?
Whenever. You're at my house. That happens. Do you call the police?
You'd leave before you call the police.
On your way out?
Yeah, on the way out the door, like in the driveway, driving away. You know, if it was one of those, all right, he just got done shooting the television. I think this is my moment where I can leave. Like he's in the bathroom taking a whiz, right? Because he's been
you wait for your
all that.
moment to
Wait for your moment, and then you go ahead and you skedaddle on out of there, and you call the police and let them come over to the house and deal with it. And then you got to go to the house the next day, and then you got to see the TV on the ground with bullet holes in it, and then remember.
Yeah.
And then you change the locks.
Yeah, I think you definitely wait the next day. Calling the police feels like that makes sense.
It does. It does.
You fire a weapon within my proximity, I feel like I've got to call the police because that's not normal behavior.
Yeah.
But I love the idea of letting him marinate in it.
You sit here and think about what you've done.
You don't even need to say that, right? Right?
Right.
That's like telling a fat person they're fat. They own mirrors. Like, you come in.
Shot the TV.
Yeah. Son of a. What happened to the team?
Right. Goes, stumbles up, still drunk a little bit. Oh, goddamn tequila. Ay, Dios míos. Goes for the television to turn on the news. Click, click. Nothing. TV's on the floor with bullet holes in it.
How stupid. And then do you upgrade after that, or do you just get whatever you get the Aspina brand that you've never heard of that's on sale for $200?
In case this happens again.
Yeah, right.
That's all you can afford. I mean,
right.
People don't keep a surplus TV budget. I don't think.
No, that's what pawn shops are made for, man.
I haven't bought a TV in like at least 4 years. And that's when I moved into the house.
Oh,
that's not true. I bought one for the playroom, I guess.
Yeah, but you bought one of the cheaper ones, right? You didn't go, Samsung or nothing like that.
Yeah. All I got to tell you is Roku. That's all I got to tell you.
I got
a Roku TV is cheap and it works fine.
Absolutely.
People are like, well, how many HP did the thing and lines and all that? I'm like, it comes on.
Right. Does it have a picture? Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. Can you get to the YouTube? Yes. That's it.
I'm confident with higher level brands, you get a different picture. Confident. I just don't care.
Right.
It's kind of like a diamond ring. There's different levels of a diamment ring.
Sure.
But you get over a certain threshold, the human eye, cannot tell the difference.
Right. Now you're just spending money.
Yeah, there's
For
no reason to
status.
get, I don't know what it is, like an A diamond. You can't see the difference between an A, B, J, whatever. You need a monocle to do that.
Right.
So it's same with TVs. I'm like, who cares?
If it's going in a kid's room or like an outdoor TV, right there with you. If it's the main TV in the living room, though, no.
Oh, how about this? Someone's like, what if it's at your house? Like you invite me over to watch the game and I shoot the TV.
There is so much going on in that situation. One, you owe me a new TV, brah. Two, we're not friends anymore.
You can't shoot a gun in my house.
I'm calling the cops immediately. And if you try to run off before the police get there, I'm telling them everything. I'm rolling right on over. I'm telling them everything about you. Because now you've destroyed my house. It's one thing to destroy your own property, but you come into my house and you start firing guns.
And why do you got to carry a gun to a watch party?
Right.
Because you never know.
Sure.
Home invasions happen, Corbin.
Sure.
In the middle of football games.
No, listen, even robbers know there's nothing to take at a Cowboys fan house. I found this list of annoying things people say. I'll say the phrase. You guys tell me if you say it. This is going to be humiliating for all of us.
All right.
Okay.
Annoying things people say.
I don't mean to be rude, but I hate this phrase.
Mm-hmm.
You do mean to be rude.
Yeah. That's just like, hey, I don't mean to interrupt. But
That is a weird psychological thing you do as a human being to make yourself feel better. I don't mean to interrupt, but that type of thing.
I don't know if I say that. I don't think I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I say that.
Okay. It's common sense is another one. I've heard people say that.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's common sense, and people are lacking it nowadays.
Yeah.
Of the two we've read, I'm not willing to go all in that I've never said them.
Okay. I'll be honest. I've said both of those.
I simply have a powerful personality. I've never said that.
No, hell no.
I hate this statement. Let's agree to disagree.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's just, let's throw in the towel here.
Well, I mean, you arguing back and forth.
Right.
There's not going to be any resolution. Let's just agree to disagree.
I see that as I don't have anything else to argue about. I can't. I have nothing left. I have no more ammunition,
Mhm.
and I can't accept that I've lost,
Right.
or I can't accept that I've won, or whatever. And so you go to that statement.
You should just stomp your feet and walk.
Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Somebody being nice. Hit me up and I'll take you to lunch.
Oh,
Why?
I'll take your meal.
Yeah, of course you will. Of course you will. Let's play a game. We've got tickets to see Jerry Cantrell with meet and greet for the show that's Saturday over at the Tulsa Theater. Tickets available at tulsatheater.com. And we're going to play Schnipp, Schnapp, Schnurr. Current record is...
Well, Corbin's leading with 3. Lindsay and I are tied 2 each.
Last week's winner was...
That would be you.
So Gimpy and Lindsay at 918-460-KMOD. 918-460-KMOD. Call up. Decide who's going to be your clue giver. Whoever gets the most right is going to win those tickets to see Jerry Cantrell and meet and greet. Good morning. You're on the air. What is your name?
Brian,
Brian, how are you today?
good. Yourself?
Good, Brian. Who do you want to read clues? Lindsay or Mr. Warm Food?
I'll take warm food.
Yeah.
All right, 60 seconds on the clock. Hopefully this won't get spoiled like his food. And timer starts after the first clue. Are you ready?
Ready.
All right.
All right, Riggs, this is a type of vehicle. You got Chevy, you have Dodge. This is the other one that's usually dead on the side of the road.
Ford.
This is Eve ate this, and it caused sin in the world. It's also like a Mac product. The iPhone is made by this company.
Apple.
This is a drinking game where you take the drinking vessels and you have to turn them upside down.
Uh-oh.
You could do a back blank into the pool.
Flip.
Yes, and you drink out of a
Flip cup.
There you go. This is another word for a python. My blank don't want none if you ain't got buns, hun.
Anaconda.
That's right. This is a type of material. What is this? Blank? Crushed is a type of it. It also looks like a type of cheese.
Swiss.
No, that you make queso out of. Yellow cheese, not really cheese. Queso is
Time.
Damn it, Riggs.
4 is what I got. Hang on the line, man. Might be good enough for the win, okay?
Okay.
Don't go anywhere.
Good morning. You're on the air. What is your name?
Hunter.
Hunter, you and Lindsay have 60 seconds. You've got to get more than 4, okay?
All right, we got it.
All right, let's go, Hunter. Disney's Ariel, the Little Ariel, Flounder, Triton.
Oh, Little Mermaid.
Yes. When you fly on a plane and if it's delayed, you might have this.
A layover.
Yes. Gimpy might be considered this because he has bad luck. You're such a
Loser.
Blank, you owe me a Coke. When you
Gee.
yes, it's a workout, a form of workout. I gotta get my blank in today.
Cardio.
Yes, you blank and fall on the ice.
Slip.
Yes, you have to climb up that to make it to the top of the
Ladder.
No, you walk up and down both ways with your shoes.
Stairs.
No, blanks and valleys. Not a mountain,
Hill?
but yeah.
Time. Doesn't matter. Congratulations, man. You're going to see Jerry Cantrell, and you're going to meet and greet him on Saturday over at the Tulsa Theater. I need you to hang on the line so Gimpy can get your info.
Nice.
Hang on the line. Woohoo!
Dude, it wasn't enough. I'm so sorry.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right, buddy. See you later.
All
right. Gimpy, this is the one she landed on or ended on. No, she got it right at the end.
Yeah.
I would have said, for this one, Lindsay, I would have said Tyreek.
Oh yeah, good
King
one.
of the
King of
Jack
the,
and Jill went up the
good. Yeah.
hill. By the
making
way,
a mountain out of a mole blank.
Yep. By the way, Gimpy, your anaconda clue,
That's right.
it might be the best clue ever given in the history of this game.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of any other way. He wasn't catching the other word for python, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
the only thing I could think of.
I just kept thinking. I was like, large, dangerous snake, very huge.
Very resourceful to combine
Amazon.
two game tactics into this game. I love it.
Yeah, right.
And then this was the one that he landed on, and I was like, black song, black fabric.
Yeah.
The type of fabric.
The red
What's
rope
song?
that keeps people, the poor people, from getting into nice clubs.
Oh yeah.
The velvet rope.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Or Blank Revolver, the band.
All right.
Yeah.
That would have been good too. Yeah.
I went the Velveeta route.
He got it. He just didn't get the velvet. The record now.
Ties you guys with 3, keeps me in last with 2.
Yeah, I leave you in the dust this time, buddy.
You've been here
Hold your
like
pants
2
on,
years.
buddy.
Finally getting to say that doesn't have a lot of oomph.
But it felt really good.
Yeah, next week when I win, we'll all be tied again. So.
Take a break and we'll be back.
Tulsa's morning show continues next.
Mhm.
Are we there yet? You know, it must have been when I got my white New Balance that I realized how annoying that phrase is.
Yes, absolutely.
Dad mode, man. I can't stand that. Are we there yet? You'll know. How will I know? When I park the car.
Right. Then you stop at the gas station to take a whiz, right? Because you've been on the road for 16 hours. Are we there yet? But you said we were there when you stopped the car. I got to piss. Shut up.
Annoying things people say. I'm the type of person.
Ugh.
Hear me out.
No.
Per my last email.
In other words, I ain't going to say it again.
No, meaning you didn't read it.
Mhm,
Right.
mhm.
Do your own research.
Lazy is.
Because I said so. Sure.
Mm-hmm. That's a good dad answer right there. Well, why? Because I said so. That's why.
Right. But if you think about it, when you're trying to shape a young mind, it gives no context. You don't learn from that.
And I'm so guilty of that.
Totally. Every parent is.
Absolutely.
It's an easy answer. If you're saying that, you're already frustrated.
Exactly. And I even read an article
good.
years ago saying why you shouldn't say that to your kids. And just like you said, because you're shaping a young mind, it gives them no real reason as to why they shouldn't do this or that. You should give them a reason.
Right.
Behind why you're saying no.
It's an interpretation, like a confrontation, rather than like, no, I just don't understand.
Right.
I'm only saying what everyone's thinking.
Yeah, I've said that before.
Yeah, me same.
I don't like drama.
Hell yeah. Everybody says that.
And yet, here we are.
It's a lie.
Yeah.
Lie.
Yeah. It's only said by those people who create the drama or are involved in the drama. Just giving you a hard time.
That means I'm an asshole, and I notice that I've hurt your feelings, so therefore I've got to smooth things over. I'm just giving you a hard time, man.
Yeah. That's just how I was raised. I hate this statement.
Right.
Because you can't evolve. We can't evolve as people.
No.
You can't want to break the cycle that happened to you.
No.
I get it.
No. Those issues are deep rooted inside me.
Right. And therefore, everyone must be exposed to them.
Absolutely.
Because I was. 3 charged in kidnapping extortion plot. 3 people have been arrested after torturing a man in a hotel room in Tennessee. It happened on the 21st of this month when police say 25-year-old Jessica Mortensen lured a 25-year-old man to a hotel room. Inside the room, 41-year-old Harry Kingham and 37-year-old Joshua Frazier forced the victim to remove his clothes, then held him at gunpoint while taking him to the bank to withdraw thousands of dollars. The victim was then thrown out of the car in his driveway.
Oh, damn.
All 3 suspects then returned to the hotel where the incident happened. Where police found them.
Yeah, and you never go back to the scene. Like, come on.
There's a drug involved, Lindsay. Can you guess what drug is involved?
Meth.
Yes.
Nothing good comes out of methamphetamine.
Nope.
Yeah, and apparently he made an arrangement because he knew this girl from high school, and he made an arrangement for sex for $300, and the police were like, we're not charging him with solicitation. He's the victim here.
Right.
Even though he was participating in a crime, they knew he would fall for it. They clearly took advantage of him for hours and made him give up his information. So he's not getting charged with. So I don't know if maybe he was somebody of some sort of brain disorder or on the spectrum or something that made him, according to the news report, gullible.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe just one of those lonely dudes, and this was the hot chick in high school. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Megan wants me now.
Yeah.
Well, Megan's, 45 right now and has got 6 kids and a drinking problem, but
meth problem.
And but it's okay because he remembers teenage Megan. And he's like, well, I'm going to get me some of that.
Yeah.
Finally, I get to touch my unicorn. And well, they left you naked in your driveway.
Yeah.
On the upside of that, at least they dumped him in his driveway. And not, I don't know, traveling down the highway.
The police report said they threw him out of the car in his driveway with like a bag of garbage. That's what the report said.
Like a bag of garbage or with a bag of garbage?
Like a bag of garbage.
Okay. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
But he's alive and he is at his house.
All right. The proverbial question.
Uh-huh.
How many days off does he get after being kidnapped, tortured, thrown in his driveway like a bag of garbage? How many days off do you get from something like that? These are bonus days. You're not using vacation or sick days.
We're just going to go ahead and give you some time off to recoup.
Yeah, we as a company empathize with that crazy situation. You get some days off to recover. That happened on a Friday, the 21st of last Friday. Lindsay.
So does he have wounds? Like when we say he's tortured?
Irrelevant.
Let's not ask questions.
Well, give him.
How many days does he get off? He's been robbed. He's been abused.
Tortured, kidnapped, robbed, trust defiled.
Mm-hmm.
How many days?
I want to give him 2 weeks.
Okay. Because?
Especially if he's got wounds on him, I want to let him heal up. You know what I mean? Like if he's got some bruising on his face, things
Bruising's
like that.
3 days.
Bruising isn't going to cause anybody else at work to get, some kind of infectious disease if he has one.
No, that's true. I'll stick with
2 weeks. Okay, Gimpy.
Good Lord, that's a lot of 2 days. 2 days. That happened on a Friday. You get Saturday, Sunday. I'll give you Monday and Tuesday. You bring your ass back to work on Wednesday. And if you've got gashes all over yourself, put some goddamn butterfly stitches on that thing and get your ass back to work.
Take as long as you need. You're damaged goods now. If I get you back, you're hardly going to be the person. Whether you get 2 weeks or you're back on Monday, it's going to take a week for you to quell the office chatter.
Right.
So you're damaged goods. You're not coming back the same person.
Oh, no.
You're not going to remember whatever project you were working on. Forget about it.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll do the right thing. Take as long as you want, but let's start hiring the replacement.
Oh, okay.
He's done.
Okay.
You're done.
What if he comes back from work, right, after his week, 2 weeks, however long he needs, and things are a little shaky there for, let's just say, like a week? That seems natural. But everything's back to normal that week after. Are you still firing that guy?
I didn't say fire.
Well, what are you going to do? How else are you going to get rid? You going to lay him off?
You let life work itself out.
Let him quit?
Yeah, he'll quit on his own.
Maybe.
You still give him work. You still treat him as if he's an employee.
Absolutely.
Everything stays the same.
Absolutely.
But he is not the same employee, right? He experienced an incredibly traumatic event.
Yes. And maybe working where he works, doing what he does is his outlet to kind of get over things. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes
this ain't your team lost. This isn't you broke your arm.
Yeah, you were.
It is one of the most traumatic events human beings can go through is being kidnapped and tortured.
That is very true. That is very true.
Mr. No Days.
But everybody works through things differently.
Sure.
Some people need therapy. Some people just need to keep busy.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So maybe so what you're going to do is you're going to let this cat go so he can drive himself crazy.
I'm not going to let him go.
All right. Go down the meth aisle with his new girlfriend, Megan. All right.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, he's committed suicide and hung himself in the garage because I
don't know what that has to do with me. No, that has zero to do with me. I'm saying I have a responsibility as a company to make sure everybody's doing their job. And he can come back. We'll treat him as family. He'll stay on insurance. We'll give him projects. Everything will stay the same. But to have the expectation that he's going to be the same employee is not realistic. And that is what I'm saying.
I understand there's going to be some differences, but deep down inside, if that's what he needs to heal, then you keep on keeping on. I'm not hiring. I'm not looking for the new hire immediately.
He is going to be a drip at the company picnic.
Oh, yeah.
Do not ask him to play laser tag or just tag or capture the flag.
Don't even say the word capture around him.
Don't do the ropes course with him.
Right.
Trust fall?
No. Trust any of you bitches.
No.
He's going to want to move to another state and start a whole new life.
Yes.
Well, maybe.
Let it work itself out, but you have a responsibility to your customers. And as a manager of a business, we got to move forward. We can't let somebody hang on to the back of the train as it's pulling away from the station. Give him all those resources he needs. Let him continue to get a check.
Right.
Put him in a basement. Take his red set. Whatever that looks like for you.
Right.
All these stories are on our Facebook page. No days off.
I said 2.
No, you said the weekend, which he already gets.
No, I said I'll give you 2 days. That you've got Friday and Saturday, so I'll give you.
It's the Big Man Morning Show, 918-460-KMD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. News quickies, we've done those. Sports, we'll get to that in a second. That leaves Gimpy's 4x4.
Hooray! Well, Corbin says here that TikTok to introduce daily time limit for minors, not people working in the mines using the app. In the coming weeks, all users under the age of 18 will only be allowed to use the app for an hour a day. Users over 13 will have to enter a password to continue using the app. Those under 13 will need their parents' password to add an additional 30 minutes of screen time. Parents will also soon be able to customize daily screen limits for their kids and adjust when TikTok sends notifications to their phones.
This is a waste of time.
Yeah, because you know what's going to happen? Here's the passcode. Just put it in.
I'm making dinner. It's password 1.
Right, exactly.
Or people that do the passcodes. Again, a waste of time. Your kid will figure it out. Absolutely. My child, 7, has known the passcode for the TV, for adult Netflix since she was 5.
Right.
It's 4 numbers.
Right. Well, hey, at least they're trying something.
Human desire to like learn or know something like that is going to kick in.
Yep.
Waste of time.
Says
I
here.
have limits on my kids' phones anyway, like how much time he can actually be on his phone throughout the day. His phone shuts off at a certain time of the day. He has 5 hours a day on his phone.
What happens if
There's
he
a
used
limit.
that time before, like, let's say he does it while he's at school, just hypothetical, and by noon it's gone and he can't text you or use his phone?
Then you wouldn't be able to use his phone.
And so he wouldn't be able to text you like, Mom, I need you, or Mom, blah, blah.
Correct.
Wow.
Unless I changed it on my phone. Like I would have to go in and extend the time.
Do you get an alert that says he's used all of his time?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So like when he reaches 5 hours, you get like a text that goes, your boy used his phone.
Right. Like I would get an alert that says Marcus has 30 minutes remaining for usage on his phone for the day. I've never had to extend the time except for like on a weekend where he's asked me, hey, can I have my phone on until, like 10 o'clock tonight?
I'm kind of indifferent on this because at what point should he learn self-regulation?
That's a good question.
Right? Because if you, and not you, Royal, because you're not the only one, everybody does this.
Mm-hmm.
At what point will he have to do it on his own and won't? And it's like, the hungry child.
Right?
Absolutely. It's a great question. I mean, he has a bedtime, so he knows when to put the phone up and stuff. I mean, so I guess he's kind of doing that already.
No, you have made it clear, a clear line that he cannot cross.
Mm. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Sorry, Gimpy.
You're good, man. So DeSantis and Pence are skipping CPAC this year. The Conservative Political Action Conference is underway near D.C. and former Trump, he used to be Trump. Now he's just Trump. Anyway, former President Trump will be the headlining speaker. Also attending will be his only announced challenger, Nikki Haley. Local contenders, Ron DeSantis and Mr. Mike Pence are skipping the conference. And they will instead be attending an event in Florida hosted by a conservative organization called the Club for Growth. The conservatives like top conservatives like Ted Cruz and Tim Scott will also be at the Florida event. It says here, Ohio governor speaks at East Palestine briefing. Governor Mike DeWine spoke at a briefing yesterday as he and his wife, Fran, spent the day in town. DeWine commended the residents for their resiliency and expressed his gratitude for the recovery efforts by federal and state agencies. The governor assured that the residents that the agencies will be there until the job is done. And then lastly here, Claremore's looking to pass a public safety penny sales tax. City Claremore's looking to pass a penny sales tax that will go solely to police and fire services. Voters will head to the polls on April 4th, and if it's approved, the measure will allocate funding to Claremore public safety programs given the growth. According to the city, the police department's call volume has increased 27% since 2000, plus the average response time for firefighters is almost 4 minutes.
Let's see what Lindsay has for Balls to the Wall Sports.
A judge out of a Manhattan court is allowing Brian Flores to pursue discrimination claims against the NFL. Judge Valerie Caproni rejected an option of arbitration on Wednesday. The decision allows Flores to take 3 teams, along with the NFL, to trial over his claims that the league is rife with racism when it comes to hiring and promoting Black coaches. Judge Caproni says Flores can state his case against the Denver Broncos, New York Giants, and Houston Texans in front of a jury. However, his discrimination dispute against the Miami Dolphins must be done through arbitration. Flores was recently hired by the Vikings to become its defensive coordinator. And that is your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Great taste, 96 calories. More of the Big Man Morning Show is next.
Tulsa's morning show is coming right back. The Big Man.
We're trained by our parents to do it in a receptacle.
Someone text in, put a colander over the toilet bowl.
Dude,
problem solved.
Pooping in the same thing that I strain my spaghetti noodles in.
No, you buy 2. got
Yeah, but
one
you
for
got
your
a clean
noodles,
one,
for your
Lindsay. You
bathroom.
got a clean one.
God, and then
Sure.
you get them mixed up because, they're
You-
both silver.
One's plastic.
No, plastic absorbs smells.
Gross.
Use that one for your
Yeah,
pasta.
we're getting off. We're getting too far.
Gross. Come on, man.
220 pounds. 220 pounds.
A month. Or is that a year?
A year.
A year. Okay.
A year.
Okay.
that was
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a
yeah,
lot.
Yeah, for
A
sure.
lot of fertilizer.
I get a bag of salt, and it's like 40-pound bag, right, for the soft water softener,
Mhm.
and so like 5 of the. That's a lot. I get it out of the trunk of the car, and I'm like, but to do that with my own feces, family's feces, is a whole other ball of wax. Amen, right?
Yeah.
When you think about the things that people go through in other countries, I'm like, can you imagine if somebody ran for office and they were like, hey, we're going to put down the national debt by harvesting our own fees? Listen to the math. There's this many number of us. We can sell it at this much. We'll have this debt wiped out in no time and have a surplus. You'll be sent a bag.
Right, a government bag. That is not the best bag ever. It kind of leaks every now and again.
Y'all couldn't wear a mask.
For real. You want me to crap in a bag every day? Ship it off.
Think about that.
It's
We couldn't get everybody on the same page
Hey,
with the mask.
Hey, did you crap in your bag today, sir?
Look at that beta crapping in a bag.
Oh my goodness gracious. No, there's other options, man. There's other options. There are plenty of animals on this planet that we could be harvesting. Hey, we do harvest their dookie for fertilizer.
Yeah.
Why do we got to use our own? Is
Yeah.
ours, as the human?
Yeah.
Is the human sample that much superior?
I can give you an actual reason why.
Why is that?
Box checked. We need more.
There's not enough crap in this world, which is crap in itself. There's more crap in this world
Yeah.
than we need.
Yeah. Most people don't know this. There is a whole subgenre of studying the human feces.
Right.
And to the point where they do fecal transplants,
right,
to make people healthy.
That was somebody's idea. That was like, guys, that was a meeting. That was a table,
Yeah.
a long rectangular table, probably had lunch catered in. Okay. And I've got an
Do
idea.
the people that study fecal do lunch meetings? No.
Probably not.
No.
Why not?
No.
Why not?
And that office gives a whole new meaning to brown bag lunch. Hey, it's brown bag lunch meeting.
It's brown bag every day.
Brown bag. To me, yeah. Phew. I'll do you one better.
Yeah.
Someone was like, Dad,
Yes,
I
son.
don't want to study engineering anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, what were you thinking about getting into for the rest of your life?
I know
'Cause
that
a
it
career
is
very important.
I know that it is a family thing to be into engineering, but I've got to change it. I've got to chase my own dreams. I don't want your life.
I get that, son. I get it. I was an engineer. Your grandpa was an engineer. His dad and grandpa were engineers. I mean, it just seems to fit, but I'm curious, what do you want to do? Let me help you.
Poopy scoop.
Excuse me?
Whoop de scoop de poop.
Did you just say poop?
Scoop de whoop.
And what are you going to do with this poop?
Poop de scoop de whoop.
You're going to scoop it.
Whoopy de scoop whoop poop.
You sure you don't want to be an engineer?
Poop.
Sure we can't guide you into some other field?
Whoop de scoop poop.
You could be a gynecologist if you want.
Poop.
Proctologist, it's close.
Poop.
If that's just what you want to do with your life, I mean, okay, good. I support you 100%.
Poop.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Somebody's like, I'm gonna be the best poop expert ever.
Yes. Absolutely.
How was work today, honey?
Poop.
It was the S.
Do not. Because I don't know about you guys, but my wife has friends that she works with, and we go to dinners with them or whatever, and they talk about work. And I always set a little thing on my watch, and about 20 minutes in, I'm like, okay.
Like trying to get out of the conversation
No,
or change the conversation?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay,
We're not talking about work anymore.
Yeah. I get that.
Do not bring it up at all if your husband or wife does poop research.
No.
Not a fun dinner.
No, because that's where everybody
Topic.
gathers around the table and talks about their day and how it was. And yeah, you can't do that if you're a poop expert.
Lindsay, do you have friends that do like plumbing or drywall work?
Yeah,
And when you need plumbing or drywall work, you call them, right?
of course. Of course.
Do not call him about our poop, please.
Right. Exactly.
Hey, Jim,
Yeah.
you're an expert in the poops, huh?
Honey, my tum-tum isn't right. Call Jim.
Right.
I'm not calling Jim again.
Again.
He does not want to hear about my poop problems.
Sure, he does. He deals with it every day.
That's the conversation you have with people that do drywall,
Right,
Yeah.
electrical work,
They're professionals.
car repair.
Mhm.
He does it every day. He does not mind. This says, I'm about to get divorced from my wife of 10 years because I made a stupid mistake and had a one-night stand. We got in an argument. I left, went to the bar, slept with some woman, and almost immediately the guilt took over me. She has told me it's over, but I have to try. What can I do to get her to give our marriage a second chance? 918-460-KMOD. BMMS. Then whatever you think he should do to 82945. Let's entertain the idea. What are some things he could do? How about a vacation?
Ooh.
You and me,
Mhm,
let's have a vacation.
mhm.
Let's go to some beautiful exotic place and talk out my inability to keep my penis in my pants.
Yeah.
Having kids usually fixes that
Some
situation.
Yeah.
that maybe if you're lucky, you'll get to do that.
Vacations are nice. Absolutely.
Can you work on a
But-
problem on a vacation, Lindsay?
I don't think so. Because
This
once
isn't a
you get
problem. This is a
back-
crack in the foundation.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Because once you get back, everything's right there, you know? Yeah.
What are some other
And-
things he could try?
I think he
KMOD is a way to call. Texting is allowed, BMMS, and whatever it is you would like to say to the phone number 82945. And we've got Conspiracy Thursday we'll get to in a second. I'm Corbin. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning. KFC is bringing back its infamous double down sandwich for the first time in 9 years. That is the 2 chicken patties instead of a bun sandwich.
And it is messy and not worth it.
I agree.
If you don't want to eat carbs in the form of a
Right.
bread, it
Mhm.
makes sure. And you want to overload in protein. I was watching a video of a guy who lost 100 pounds in a year,
Uh-huh.
and every day for lunch he ate at some fast food place, and he ordered just patties.
Okay. Cutting out all the bread and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
I can't remember if these chicken that they use is breaded or not. It kind of defeats
In
the
that
purpose.
sandwich, yeah.
In that
Mhm.
sandwich kind of defeats the purpose, I think.
I'm not a Lent guy,
Mhm.
but man, I love good fish sandwiches.
yeah.
You can't go wrong.
telling ya.
Slice of American cheese on there.
Dude, Arby's.
Mm,
Arby's fish sandwich.
I don't think I've had the Arby's one.
You're missing out.
Okay.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Corbin, usually like, you can text or you can call, but you can also use the talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. It's just a little microphone down in the corner, and you push the button, and you can say whatever you want, and it comes straight to us.
All right, Conspiracy Theory Thursday. All that talk about ChatGPT. Lindsay did a thing about it, and we've talked about it many times. But there's concern about it, how it's going to cheat. People are going to cheat on things when people are already cheating.
Yeah, right.
And remember when people had computers, and there was concern about having computers in your home, and all these problems that were going to be there. And now we carry computers stronger than what went to the moon in our pocket.
Mm,
And so that's never been a concern for me. So the AI, not a concern.
okay.
Conscious AI, different story.
Okay.
But what I'm concerned about is this headline. Scientists are trying to use lab-grown mini brains to create biocomputers. Biocomputers are terrifying to me. And the fact that they're trying to grow brains also terrifies me.
Terminator's real, bro. It seems like it, isn't it?
That scene in The Matrix, I'll never forget it. When they zoom out, Neo wakes up in that pod of and they drain it. And he wakes up and looks over the edge and it pans out and the aliens or whatever have this giant biocomputer of humans. Terrified me.
Yeah.
And that's what this is. Apparently, for years now, scientists have been raising concerns about this, but other scientists are, you know what, we don't care. We're going to grow brains. Now, essentially, they want to use these lab-grown mini brains as biological hardware for biocomputers. Quote, while silicone-based computers are certainly better with numbers, brains are better at learning, said one scientist. Thomas Hartung of Johns Hopkins, for example, AlphaGo, the AI that beat the world's #1 Go player in 2017, was trained on data from 160,000 games. A person would have to play 5 hours a day for more than 175 years to experience that many games.
Damn.
In a press release about the research, the scientists wrote, brains are not only superior learners, they are also more energy efficient. For instance, the amount of energy spent training AlphaGo is more than is needed to sustain an active adult for a decade. Brains also have an amazing capacity to store information, estimated at over 2,500 terabytes. We're reaching the physical limits of silicone computers because we cannot pack more transistors into a tiny chip. But the brain is wired completely differently. It has about 100 billion neurons linked through over 1,015 connection points. It's an enormous, powerful difference compared to our current technology. Huh?
Right.
A ding bong? Like, I don't know what you're saying.
So as you're describing that, now they're growing brains in the lab, it made me ask the question to myself. Could there possibly be brain transplants now? Let's talk about people that are like getting an accident and are brain dead.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Is it possible now with these lab grown brains to have a successful brain transplant? And I started to Google, like, try to find out if there has been brain transplants in the past. I mean, we've heard of, transplanting hands, full limbs. And one pops up as a human head transplant. But I'm like,
brain transplant has not happened.
Has not happened. So I wonder if because of these lab-grown brains, if that could be a possibility to bring somebody essentially back from the dead.
Well, listen, if I give you my eyes, you're not taking those memories with you. It's like changing a monitor out.
Right.
If I give you my brain, now you have all my problems.
That is true.
To sum it up.
Yeah. You would have all of the person that gets your brain would have all your memories, all your knowledge. All right. Which is all right, I guess. I mean, from a human to human or whatever. But if we're doing lab grown brains, and as you described there, they're taking and absorbing all this information quickly, that could be very dangerous, I think.
How about the idea if they grow lab-grown brains, what makes you think they can't pre-program him and put that new U2 album on it? I'm using that as an example of like they did with Apple, right? They put that U2 album on it, and everybody's like, what the heck? That could be the same thing if a lab-grown brain, they can pre-program stuff into it, like you will pay your taxes.
Right, or you will commit a terroristic act. Think of it like that. If it falls into the wrong hands and becomes weaponized by some terrorist group of nerds,
you don't need a terroristic group of nerds.
Right.
You need a terroristic group with one nerd.
One nerd, exactly.
Look up the Oppenheimer Project.
Exactly. So then they like pre-program these brains, all right, whenever you think of sleeper cells and stuff like that, you hear a certain word and it triggers you, you wake up, commit the terroristic act. That could already be pre-programmed in. to millions of people.
Yeah. That's the ethical concern, right?
Yeah.
Is you're growing these brains, and then what do you do with them? And then what do you do when you're done with them?
Right? Yeah, you just throw them in the trash. There's a special spot in landfill for all these lab-grown brains.
Are they going to put them in bodies? Like, are they?
Well, right now the plan is biocomputers. We're kind of blending some conversations here.
Which I've never heard of this biocomputer until just now when you had mentioned it. And I was kind of doing some quick research on it. I'm like, well, that's kind of interesting. It's using living organic stuff to power it as opposed to wires and such and plugging it into the wall. I'm like, all right, well, that's some smart nerd stuff right there.
This says that today it's often possible to prevent immune rejection. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. That's about brain surgeries. Sorry, I got sidetracked there as we went into brain surgery. Creating human brain organoids that can learn, remember, and interact with their environment raises complex ethical questions. For example, could they develop consciousness? Even in the rudimentary form, could they experience pain or suffering? Right? When you hurt your hand, it is your brain telling you you're hurt.
Yeah.
The nerves, the things on the end of your fingers transmit the information to your brain, therefore stimulating some sort of reaction, response, or emotion.
Right.
So that's why some people are capable of breaking their hand in a fist fight, but continuing on because their brain has overpowered the message from the nerve from the hand.
Right. So if you take out all those receptors, there's no message going on there. You could simply become essentially invincible.
So like women that don't take any drugs at birth, they're getting the same receptors sent to them from the nerves that a woman who's no way wanting to do that.
Exactly.
But their brain, one brain is more, I don't want to say sophisticated, but more advanced to look past those phone calls from that part of the body. So then there's the question of, can these brains feel things?
Right.
If it hasn't, from my understanding, apparently the moment there's a brain, it's a thing.
Right. It's a human.
From my understanding, the way I've been educated in the news, or I've been led to believe.
Heartbeat. Whatever.
So I don't know. To me, that is an interesting question.
This
and to me, the whole like free will part, like in developing free will.
Right. This brings so many different things with it. If they're making lab-grown brains, who's to say they can't have, I guess they do test tube babies, right?
Yeah.
But lab-grown people to make your own perfect, I don't know, race, your own perfect person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Well, already when you do fertility treatment and you are doing test tube babies, if you will, you can do tests along the way to avoid certain things.
Okay.
So it's not specifically to the point of I want blue eyes, but it is not a far leap.
Right. How much longer until we get to that point? I mean, we've talked before about people customizing their babies.
Yeah.
You know, I want this gene removed so they don't end up with Down syndrome.
Yeah, you're getting heated steering wheel. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's just like we can make it's looking like we can make our own people, and then the actual people that are here on Earth will be irrelevant and nothing anymore.
Not related, but kind of biting off of what you're saying. Japan is having a birth crisis, where there's concern of there being enough population,
like it's too much.
Yeah, they want to encourage people to have kids.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
And then the government's going to be like, well, what do we do?
Right.
This.
Exactly. We need to raise the population. First, it was like, let's have a pandemic to kill the population. Now we went too far.
That was in China.
We went too far. Oh, God. We need to do
either
something.
It happened or it didn't. Which stance are you on? But the whole growing of the brain and it becoming conscious, to me, is crazy. We've talked before about my fascination with the brain, and the difference between our brain and animal brains is that we have this ability to learn how to cook. Right. And we can break down calories and have the ability to consume more calories. That's why we have far more advantage than other species. right? An octopus is eating what it finds. It isn't going, hey, I need to manufacture a boat.
Right.
Or a device to breathe out of water. We do that. So far more superior species. And they claim it goes all the way back to our ability to take in more calories because we can cook and break down using less energy and then taking in more calories.
Very interesting.
It's incredibly fascinating. Yeah. So if you create a brain that sits on a counter in a jar and then has some, like a potato clock and then just... and the whole part of, does it have any rights? Does it have any rights?
But so far as basic human rights, because honestly, is it human?
Again, what constitutes human?
Right.
Because if you're brain dead, you're still alive.
Yeah. It's just your brain that's not working.
And if your heart's not working very well, how long are you brain alive, right?
Yeah.
Neurologically there. Why do we get in the way of things?
I don't know.
This text says this AI thing is really neat, but scary at the same time. I think we need to stop. I'm not disagreeing with that.
I disagree with that.
Yeah.
I think just because we've used this word a lot, just because it's awkward for you doesn't mean we shouldn't do it, right? Ever seen your parents, use a remote? It is not, just because it's uncomfortable for you doesn't mean it won't harness great things.
I understand this completely. And I think I've spoken on this about AI before that, like, you got this artificial intelligence. Let's just use robots, for example. You have this robot, and this robot is learning things. You said it in this article here, Corbin, about the lab-grown brains, that it's taking in all this information. You hook it up to the internet, essentially, and it's getting all this information. And you've argued before, well, computers run off commands. Somebody has to say, you do this, and then this happens. Well, that's all good and gravy until it takes over and starts teaching itself.
Yeah.
It starts commanding itself.
Yeah, that whole thing of it only can do so much programming unless you do an if this, then there, that. And one of those commands is go to your history.
Right. Unless it figures it out on its own somehow because it's artificial intelligence.
So conscious AI is what that is. And that hasn't really been perfected yet.
Yeah, that's the scary word.
But again, the computers that went to the moon are now the size of what's in our pocket. So I'm aware that technology will advance, but anything, we will harness great things from it too. Imagine the idea of not having to send our brothers and sisters to front lines into harm's way. That's pretty awesome.
It is pretty awesome.
And worth it, in my opinion.
Until they turn on us and kill us all and take over the world, i.e. Terminator.
Yeah. I don't think maximum overdrive is going to be a thing.
Probably not that.
And if it does, we'll figure out a way to fight it. Will Smith figured it out, even though he was one of them.
Right. Well, I'm sure somebody in the future has already figured out time travel.
Because things are scary shouldn't be a reason not to do things.
I think certain things, when it comes to the destruction of humanity, the potential destruction of all humanity, that is scary, and that is a sign that we should stop.
Somebody texted this in, and it's a great line. This is the same plot line as Gattaca. If you've ever seen this movie, it's a fantastic movie. And in the movie, you get to pick your life.
Okay.
And based off DNA, and they can pick blue eyes, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But only the pretty people advance, and the non-pretty people like clean. And in the movie, one of the main characters tricks the system and has to evade. But they do like constant eye checks and things to make sure you're one of the pretty people.
The elite.
The elite, yeah. Yeah. And like he teams up with a guy who was an elite but got put in a wheelchair.
Right.
And his character can't do anything, but he gets to then pose as him. They look very similar, but he wears glasses and things, which makes him not elite.
Yeah.
Right? And he wears so he can look like him. And that guy gets his name to go on, his pedigree and his availability. When you date, you go, we just kissed, and they do a DNA check to make sure it's a good match, and you'll produce another perfect offspring,
person.
which is a full circle to, royal blood, right? The whole idea was you marry your sister or part of the bloodline to keep it pure,
Yeah.
like dogs.
Yeah. But come to find out
Not good.
No.
Not good. Because what would happen is what we all know now is that there'd be some offspring that, wasn't of sound mind and body.
Right.
And they would just then ship them to some far stretch of the country where no one would ever see or know about them, or there'd be an accident.
Right.
Go look up the history of homes. They call it upstate, but of homes where they took kids like that recently, not hundreds of years ago, recently, and that they treated them horrible, and no one ever came and visited these kids, and they would die, and they just bury them in front of the building,
right,
and use it as a way to force people to mind and behave.
If you don't listen, you can end up out there with Johnny
in the front yard.
So that's why some people are super sensitive about, name calling of people that are considered to be of questionable sound mind and body. It's crazy to think of some of this stuff, and now it goes full circle. Life starts at the end of your comfort zone.
Okay,
sure. Ever notice that every time an AI gets hooked up to the sum total of human knowledge, the internet, they immediately turn into a-holes?
Is that what happened?
Yeah, the only thing between us and them is the ability to unplug them. I mean, I hear you. Throw down a blanket and watch one of these AI robots do real well.
For now. I mean, it's still on the ground level of these AI robots.
Yeah. Rain.
Okay. There is waterproofing techniques. If that wasn't the case, then our cars wouldn't run, because of the electrical components inside of it.
Yeah.
So,
every item I own in my home that is AI or robot has problems.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I told Gimpy this the other day. My car's doing a weird thing, right? It's supposed to be this super sophisticated thing. It knows when there's a problem.
Yeah.
Right? I took pictures of when it happened, took it to the dealership, and they're doing it like shade tree mechanic stuff. They're like, well, we can't recreate it. Why do you need to recreate it?
Right.
I've told you when it happened. Isn't it storing data? You told me it was this. It's the same thing you would do when my dad had a 72 Cutlass Supreme and it wasn't running correctly. He'd be like, well, I guess we'll just see if we can recreate So I hear you. It could get that way, but it's still got tons of problems.
Right. Hopefully we'll all be dead by that time, but then it's our kids and our kids' kids and our kids' kids.
I don't care about
that. Let them deal with it.
Speaking of Matrix, I have a fun glitch in the Matrix I'm going to share. That's so awesome. Of all the things we talk about, this might be the one I'm the most on board with. We'll take a break and we'll be back.
Right. Like,
Gross.
previous person was a freckler. I get what you're talking about. Yeah. Dude, that happens, bro. That happens in everybody's house. I'm hoping that you would, at least go in there and take that little brush and whirl around a little bit.
But you didn't.
You didn't, exactly. But I mean, it is what it is. Everybody poops. Everybody has that, whatever you may need a knife for. It's okay.
Bidet, dude. Bidet.
Right. I get it. That cleans the skid marks off of your end, but I mean, this is down on the porcelain. I don't think it works like that.
Eat some fiber. What's the strangest type of bird that you'd be willing to eat, such as a shoebill stork? You know what a shoebill stork is, Lindsay?
No.
Look up shoebill stork. Shoebill stork. It will, if I remember correctly, this is a very bizarre looking bird. It almost looks human-like.
Giant honking schnoz.
It is terrifying.
Yeah.
It will haunt you in your nightmares. And if I remember right, it makes a horrendous sound. A very loud noise. It's not like a beautiful chirping or anything. It's a very loud noise. The shoebill stork. You see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your pick?
Probably a. What's the one? What are the We call him. My husband calls it a Harry Truman, and that's not what its real name. We see
dropping bombs.
Huh?
Is it just dropping bombs everywhere it flies?
It's the. Now I can't even think of the real name of it. You see them all. A blue herring. Is that what it is?
Blue herring.
What? Isn't that a fish?
See them all the time on the.
So it's the ones you see in the ponds, and they got the long legs and
Yes,
stuff like that. Yeah, yeah.
Hurrah.
The heron. Yes.
Great blue heron.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity.
Gimpy,
Can I say big?
Huh?
big
Bird.
big bird. Okay.
Oh.
If we're going like a legit bird,
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the flamingo.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see if it tastes like shrimp.
Yeah. Flamingo or
That's
roadrunner.
true.
One of the two.
Yeah, why not? That sounds fine. Penguin. I'm down for some penguin.
Oh, yeah. Some fricasseed penguin.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it getting. I mean, it's cold. It's right there on the ice.
Right.
Who doesn't? Some good penguin. Yum. I'm going to name some dishes. You give me a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being awesome
Okay.
and 0 being pass.
Okay.
Okay. Lindsay, you're in on this too.
Okay.
10 being
Let's
awesome,
start.
0
Let's
being
start basic,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
Spaghetti.
I don't know.
Lindsay.
Oh, 10.
Okay. Gibby.
3.
Okay. Fettuccine Alfredo. You can
10.
You can say 10.
Could I say 11?
Gimpy?
Oh.
What kind? Is it seafood or is it chicken?
This is just the cheese. This is
Just
no
the
chicken. No.
sauce
Yeah.
and noodles?
Yeah.
0.
Okay. Manicotti. So manicotti, for those who don't know, it's a ricotta. Mostly the time it's a ricotta-based filled noodle.
Big ol' honking noodle too.
It's a 6 for me.
Okay.
That's a 0 for me, dog.
Okay. Stuffed shells.
6.
Okay. Gimpy.
2.
Wow.
If that. I'm struggling for a 2, bro.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Lasagna.
3.
Wow. Gimpy.
Who's making it?
Whoever your favorites is.
It's even my mom's lasagna. That would like rank like a 2 or 3 for me, and that's because it's mom's. So lasagna, just in general,
Yeah.
that's a 1.
Chicken Parmesan. Or sorry, chicken Parmigiana.
9.
Never had it.
What?
Crazy.
It feels crazy.
Yeah. So that's going to be a 0 for me, dog.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
Chicken. Oh my gosh.
Is it the eggplant and the?
Nope.
That
nut?
one's good too.
That's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
All right. Chicken piccata. Chicken piccata is the lemon chicken. I know. It's lemon.
Yeah, 7.
That's 0.
Oh my God.
Like we went to that fancy Italian place for the boss. What was that, last week? His lunch or whatever. And I'm looking at the menu. I was like,
Mondo's great Italian restaurant.
Mondo's, I respect them and what they do. It's just Italian is not for me. I'm like, I don't know what to get. Everything on the menu had either mushrooms or lemon on it. And I was just like, what's this stuff with the shrimp? Sounds good. I'll eat the shrimp over the noodles, which is exactly what I did.
I mean, I wanted to see. All right, so let's just go with a couple things here because I'm trying to fried mozzarella.
I mean, that's just deep
10.
fried cheese. But even then, I want to give it like a 4.
Calamari.
10.
Calamari. I'll go ahead and give that like maybe a 6 or something because I've had calamari at other places that's not Italian food.
Bruschetta or bruschetta.
10.
Was that the fancy bread?
It's most of the time it's toasted little pieces of bread with tomatoes and olive oil and balsamic and basil and
Yes,
stuff.
the extremely stale bread that you chip a tooth on every time you eat it. That's a 0.
Let's see. Let's get spaghetti and meatball ravioli.
Lindsay?
6.
Only if it's Chef Boyardee. Which actually his name was Chef Boyardee, but we had to Americanize it.
Give me your rating, Mr. Wikipedia.
1,
Tortellini,
4.
2.
peppers and onions.
That's it. Like no sausage to put them on,
It's
or
sausage,
anything?
peppers, and onions. It's typically
But like a
4.
bun, I mean, I guess with the sausage, peppers, and onions, I give it like a 3, 4, maybe even.
fettuccine carbonara,
What's the carbonara part?
bacon.
Oh.
That's a 5.
What?
1.
Eggplant parmigiana,
Yeah, that's 8.
That's a big 0 for me, homie.
meatball sub.
Oh God.
5.
This is getting worse and worse the further we go down. 0, man. That stuff is too messy. It doesn't eat well. You have to have a fork to eat a sandwich. I think that's retarded.
Oh, I liked it. Gnocchi.
What? Huh? Oh, okay. I've had that come in like a HelloFresh or something like that once. And I was like, what is this? What is this garbage?
Oh, you didn't enjoy it?
Lindsay.
5.
0.
Oh my gosh.
I know it sounds crazy, but like when it comes to like the Big Ten of restaurants and foods and stuff, Italian's at the bottom of that list for me, man.
Somebody texted in and said, you think Zio's is delicious? You got to try Luigi's and Skytook. So authentic. I think it's run by the actual Italian mob. I've had Luigi's and Skytook. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. I like, it's not like I go to Zio's and I order one of everything.
Right.
I worked there after college, and their 5 cheese pasta, adding chicken to it, was so good.
Yeah.
Their spinach artichoke dip, which isn't Italian, whatever, but it was so good.
Mm-hmm. I just like the brown paper on the tables that give you crayons.
The cannoli, yeah, I know how to write my name upside down. Cannoli, with the Alfredo and the chicken stuff, so good there.
I'll give you that. I'll give you the Italian dish, the cannoli. That's delicious just because it's cheese and powdered sugar.
No. That's the dessert.
I know.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
That's the only Italian food that I really, 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 really like is a good old cannoli.
We haven't gotten to the real one. Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Conspiracy Theory Thursday is where we are right now. And this one, the glitch in the Matrix is something I don't want to believe in, but there's constant evidence of it.
Okay, and that's when the cat passes by and then the cat passes by again.
Right. It's a reference to the movie The Matrix from back in the day. And in the movie, they know when something is amiss because they see a what's the cliche phrase? Deja vu.
Yes.
Oh.
And so this is a bite off of that.
Okay.
And when you see the video, you will go, yeah, that makes no sense. Well, apparently this happened in Los Angeles near a school on February 18th, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I just sent you guys the link so you could see it. And in the video, it shows a bird motionless in the air. And I know what you're going to say. You're going to go, hey, different cameras, different frame rates. It can make it appear like a hummingbird, right? Hummingbirds look like their wings aren't flapping because our eyes can't keep up with the frames per second.
Yeah.
Sometimes plane propellers do this. It looks like they're just spinning.
Right.
Sometimes with your phone camera that has a high frame rate, you can actually see LED lights blinking, right? So there is some of that. But when you see this bird ain't moving.
Sure enough.
It is motionless. Now, maybe there's some trickery going on here, and it's being held up in some capacity with a rope or but it's above power lines.
Right.
So I don't know what it would be hanging from above. If it was a drone, it could stand still. But even if it was, hanging by like a fishing line or some sort of line that would be invisible, it would have to be zero wind.
Right, exactly.
And if you've ever held something on a string, like a washer tied to a string with no wind, it will start moving.
Right.
So I ain't buying that. I can't find the solution on how this works. That doesn't mean it's not fake.
Right. Right. That was my next guess is it's probably computer software, video edited to get it out there and get some clicks.
Yeah. I've got another one for you. Go ahead, Lindsay.
I want to know what kind of bird this is.
Looks like a magpie or a blackbird or something. I don't know. Maybe a sparrow.
It almost looks like a statue, obviously, because it's not moving, but it looks fake to me, like almost like a
of course, but how do they get it up there is the question.
Right.
Whether the bird is real or fake or not, could be stuffed. Totally fair. But then how do they get it up there?
Right. Above the power lines and just suspended, hanging.
That is the question at hand.
Mhm.
So if that's not enough for you, here's another one. And I'm going to post these for everybody to see. This is a plane stopped in air. Now, sometimes you'll look and you'll be like, that plane isn't moving,
Mhm.
especially when you're in a car.
Right.
This isn't that. This is a plane pulling a banner, not moving. The only way I can get to this, and the only explanation that would fit with this one also with the bird, is some fancy split screen editing.
Right.
Power lines create a line that is an easy edit point, right, for you to cover up an edit.
Mhm.
And then the video of the plane, there's a lot of clouds, which can create some front lines, easy to blend
Yeah.
some stuff. So there is an explanation, but the plane one's trippy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. And it's like got a banner in tow. I'm wondering what that banner says and if this was like a marketing ploy to get whatever message out there.
And just as a point of example of the difference, I've got another one I'll send you. Also, a plane appears to not be moving. That's in some sort of matrix glitch. The asterisk on this one for me to go, is they're in a moving car.
Right.
And hold on, Corbin, you're the only one who's had like some aviation experience.
Yes.
And
love it.
And in this first
I'm
video
our Sully in the room.
of the plane
God, save us.
stopped, it's windy. You can see the trees, they're all blowing in the wind. Is it possible for a plane to stop in the air and sort of just glide with the wind? Can it just be? Is that possible?
What do you think? You have no aviation experience.
None whatsoever.
If a plane isn't moving,
Mhm.
what would be your fear if you were on it?
To crash.
Because
There's no one controlling the plane. We're gonna
there's no lift
Right. The engines aren't keeping it moving
Mhm.
forward,
keeping it in the air.
which
Yeah.
creates the lift.
Mhm,
Right.
mhm, mhm.
So
And this is a
no.
massive plane too. Look like a giant.
the third video,
the third
yeah.
video, yeah.
The third video is some sort of military cargo plane of
Yeah.
something to that degree. The asterisk on that one again is they are moving.
Mhm.
And so I don't buy it. It's a little harder to decipher if the plane isn't moving.
Right. You know, a theory that you have not checked off yet
Yeah.
is maybe the government is experimenting with ways to freeze time. And it comes from satellites in space, and they beam down energy or whatever it is to certain locations, and it freezes whatever it touches in time. A la, think of like Zach Morris when he's like, talking to Billy
yeah.
conversation. He's like, time out.
Time out.
And then everybody, stops and he keeps on going. That's a possibility because we don't know what the government's up to, really. There's a lot of stuff the government doesn't tell us. And I'm thinking top secret time freezing technology probably would fit under that umbrella.
If you think that's happening, then you are in the position of being terminated.
By these robots.
You're not important.
Right.
You're on the wrong side. Right?
Right.
And if the government had that, they would utilize it in what?
Oh,
if they had the ability to pause, we would avoid many things.
Oh, yeah.
So either they are,
Mhm.
and we're just not seeing those things,
Right.
but they do a couple to like keep us on the lam.
Right.
Well, that's kind of twisted too. If you have a private plane and never go anywhere,
Mhm.
Yeah. What's the point?
yeah, what's the point?
Well, think of the Philadelphia experiment. You've heard of that, I'm
Yeah, oh,
sure,
yeah.
and that's where the government dabbled in some teleportation and attempted teleportation. And the story goes is there was a ship and they wanted to move the ship from one place to the other and all the people on the ship with it. And when they did, some people were stuck in the walls and some people were stuck on the floors and some people just were never the same. And they scrapped that idea real quick. At least that's according to the Wikipedia. And that's a real brief sum up of everything that I've read.
Yes. Yes.
But the fact of it is like that did happen. That did happen. There are witness accounts that did happen. So to say that the government, wouldn't be working on some kind of time freezing technology, think about that, man. If we had that technology and they're just not working on whatever, and World War III happens, Russia's like, screw you, you're all going to die. We beam down our lasers from satellites in space down on Russia while they're trying to invade, freeze them in time. We go in there and kick their ass and wipe out the entire military, and then boom, World War III is prevented.
The problem with the Philadelphia experiment is that there are plenty of people not associated with the government that state that never happened and that it's a misinterpretation of data, much like Jack the Ripper.
Okay.
Right? People think Jack the Ripper was this guy that did these things over time. When in reality, this was before time stamping of police reports and taking police reports and things like that these could have all been different instances and not just one person. But the story is that it's Jack the Ripper, one person.
Right.
So that's the problem with the Philadelphia thing. To me, it's not it happened.
Right.
It is a fantastic story of maybe it happened.
Right. I wouldn't put it past our government to be experimenting and stuff like that for reasons of war, or let's just say riot control, maybe even, and think about the last couple of years when riots break out. What was it, Ferguson, Missouri, or whatever, all over the place. And you use that technology, freeze them, take care of the situation.
And then what? You pick them up and move them?
Yeah, absolutely.
You picked they're mannequins?
Yeah.
Great 80s movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Like you pick them up and move them to somewhere else, and then they then what? Like unfreeze?
Yeah, and then they're like, what the hell? I was just in Missouri, and now I don't know.
I mean, I do that when I'm going to the kitchen.
All right. Who's to say that?
Like, why am I in the kitchen?
Yeah.
But I wasn't protesting prior to that.
No.
That's usually I was in the living room.
That you know of. You could have been subconsciously protesting something.
But then they erased my memory too?
Well, yeah.
Now you're
Black,
just...
man. Men in
Now,
Black.
now you're just adding toppings.
Did you see a flashy light?
I put the link
before?
on our Facebook page at facebook.com/BMMS69 with a link to these 3 videos so you can see a glitch in the matrix for yourself.
Tulsa's Morning Show continues.
Bundy twice escaped from police custody and committed at least 30 homicides in states of Washington, Utah, Florida, Colorado, Oregon, Idaho, California.
Yeah, I kind of guess that makes sense. I mean, if you're killing people, the bodies are going to start stacking up in your hometown. Right? So it's like, let's move around, try to just not to get caught sort of thing.
Yes, but again, that's a myth that they mostly happen
in
a concentrated area. 5th myth: all serial killers are either mentally ill or or evil geniuses.
Okay.
Think of like Dr. Hannibal Lecter. These stereotypes are not accurate. Instead, serial killers are much more likely to exhibit antisocial personality disorders such as sociopathy or psychopathy, which are not considered to be mental illness by the American Psychiatric Association. An examination of psychopathy and sociopathy and a discussion of the powerful connection between antisocial personality disorders and serial homicide is in a book that you can read more about that. I'm not going to think about like 7, like you think he's antisocial. That makes sense.
Right. Creepy, weird guy in the back.
Yeah.
Murders cats on the weekends because he's got nothing better to do.
So if it's not a mental illness, then you would be able to stand a trial.
It's not a mental illness recognized.
Okay.
The wording there is really important.
Yeah.
It's not a mental illness recognized by the American Psychiatric Association, which probably goes to what you're saying. Right.
Yeah.
Because if I say you're a psychopath, that seems okay, apparently.
Right. You say I'm a serial killer. Like, no.
Right.
Never.
So we'll find out more about this guy as the story comes out. But for them to enter, like, they were following him. They had a guy that thought was a suspect. They were following him. And they're like, hey, wait a minute. Is he got to go? We got to go now.
Man.
Officer, Sergeant, we got to go. We got to go. What's happening? You're just supposed to watch him. No, man, he's got a mask and a gun. We think he's going to kill right now.
Well, it would suck if they, got the wrong person. And it was just some guy,
It's
maybe
possible.
dressing up for like a early Halloween party or
A prank or
a
something.
prank or something
Yeah.
like that. And
It's kind of a weird prank to put a gun in your pocket.
No kidding.
it is
It's
California, and there are serial killers on the loose, Corbin.
Sure.
I'm
How
just
crazy
saying.
would it be if they didn't catch him, but this was a different serial killer?
Oh my God! Right. Totally caught a different killer by accident.
They didn't know.
Meanwhile, he still got this guy over here.
Right.
So we'll find out in the next couple of weeks.
Right. They have to quell nervousness.
Mm-hmm.
So can you? They would have to come out and go, "We didn't get him. This isn't the guy, dude."
Oh my God.
Poof. People would lose their ass.
Oh yeah.
They would get overly anxious.
Yeah. Because just when you thought there was one roaming around, we'll come to find out now you got two of them roaming around.
Or if it's
and
a
you got
partner.
one, and this other one's still on the loose. Well, how many goddamn serial killers are out there just roaming around?
Or they announced that he can go. He can go free.
Right. Yeah.
What if you were wronging that guy and it was not? He's not a serial killer. Or oh my gosh, he is a serial killer, and you're like, I know him. We got in an argument over the rice-a-roni.
I consider myself lucky then.
He comes into my diner. I serve him coffee every day.
Totally going to be those people. There are plenty of times I've been out on a lake and we stop, against a rock or whatever. Excuse me. And people get out and climb and then jump while we're waiting. I'm like, you're crazy.
Even just that water enema. No thanks. The water going up, that hurts.
I don't
Does
think
that
that's
happen?
ever actually
Yes.
physically happened to
I don't
me.
know if that's a thing.
I've jumped off of a lot of things and into some bodies of water, but that thing's pretty well watertight.
It's painful.
Huh. I don't know if I've ever heard this happen. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
So you've jumped and received a rather substantial amount of water into your body.
Yeah, it hurts. It hurts. It happened when we went to Skytook and we jumped off of the little cliffs, and it happened to my husband, and he said it was very painful. It happened to me when I jumped, and then when I landed, I got the biggest welt and bruise on the side of my leg.
Well,
and
what
all
does
the
that
way
have
up
to do
my
with the
hip.
water?
It all hurts.
So hitting the water hurts.
Yes.
Okay, you know what an
Yes.
enema is, right?
Yes.
What is an
And
enema?
that-
I need
when
to
the water
hold on.
shoots up? Yes.
What is an
The
enema?
water entering
Your butt.
your butt. Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Mhm.
Because you're talking about a couple different things,
Mhm.
and I just want to make sure we're understanding your story correctly. Because you're talking about bruises and the water hurts when you hit it. That I'll agree with 100%.
Yes.
But an enema, water entering your butt,
Uh-huh.
that's a new story to me. I've never heard of such a thing. And you're saying you and your husband, this has happened to you.
Mhm. Mhm. Yep. Hit the water just right. That's what happens.
Are you sitting as you jump into the water
Yeah, right.
and pushing out?
You land just yes, exactly.
Yeah, but come on. Unless you're, jumping with your cheeks spread open, there ain't no way. And even then, it just ain't gonna happen. That thing's watertight for a reason.
That's what it feels like. It hurts.
I saw a Dallas Cowboy fan video from the other night when they lost, and he threw something, broke his TV, started punching his TV. It fell down, pulled out his gun, and started shooting the TV.
Oh my goodness.
And here's the thing about all that. They
It's
still
a
lost.
fucking-
It didn't change anything.
No. So now you're out of television.
Yeah.
And you discharged a weapon in city limits.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a charge in itself right there.
You're at a friend's house.
Mhm.
Okay. Because I know you're
I love
not a
it.
huge football fan,
Yeah.
but you watch football.
Yeah, I'll go over there, hang out, drink some beers.
Your
smoke
girl
some pot.
loves
Yeah,
football.
she loves it. Yes. I like it.
And matter of fact, Gimpy initiated a text to tease me
Yeah.
about the Chiefs game
Yeah.
on Sunday,
Yeah.
which is totally fine. I can take it.
Mhm.
I'm fine with that.
It's just unexpected coming from me.
Yeah, not normal.
Yeah.
But still awesome.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, hey, come over, watch the game.
Okay, bet, man.
We watched the game. We
Yeah,
got
man.
beers, whatever. We're having fun. The game goes south. Patrick Mahomes chokes. Ooh, wish he did.
He did. He threw that
He
ball
choked.
right at that
He
fool,
choked.
too.
He pushed a pass. Anyway, I digress. And he throws the interception. I chuck my beer at the TV. I
Uh-huh.
start punching the TV.
Uh-huh.
You don't even know I'm packing. I pull out my gun and start
Yeah.
shooting the TV.
Uh-huh.
And I yell, son of a bitch.
Yeah. What's my next
Is it
plan of
safe
action?
to say you probably will not come back over to watch a football game at my house?
I'm definitely. Well, I might. You. Oh shoot.
Totally
No, I'm
care-
not
this is a
coming
pre-
back.
Yeah, it's a pretty
I'm not
extreme
coming
violent
back.
situation for
Yeah,
a guy
it
who's
is.
not violent.
For you. I was even to say, even if my best of friends did that, I'd be like, all right, I'll give you one more shot. If you pull out your gun a second time and start shooting a television over a goddamn football game, I am definitely never coming back. Not for football, not for Parcheesi, not for no goddamn
Yeah,
win, lose, or
I ain't
draw.
playing
none of
Monopoly
that.
with you,
Right.
bitch.
No, because I could be the television. I'm not taking that chance. I would give you one more opportunity, because you're not the guy that kind of, just flies off the handle like that. That's a one-off. If it
Feels
happens,
pretty violent.
if it happens again, I'm like, all right, something's going on. Now, I'll tell you this. You pull out your gun, you start shooting a television, I'm not going to be sticking around for much longer.
Right, the party is over.
Pretty much. Even
we're
if the
definitely-
game
We're
at
not watching
halftime-
the second game.
No.
No.
I gotta go. I got to go vacuum the lawn. See you in the morning. No.
It's weird to see grown men get that angry about something they have no part in.
Mm-mm.
Right.
Of other grown men playing a kid's game, getting paid a king's ransom
Ain't that the
to
truth?
get that mad. And I'm not saying you're not invested and you can't be a fan,
Mhm.
right? I get it. It's been your team forever.
Right.
You've been there for the ups and downs. But getting mad, I'll accept throwing a beer.
Sure.
That I'm like, yeah, emotions get the best of you.
Yeah, heat of the moment. Sure, why not?
You threw a beer, walked 10 feet,
Yeah.
punched a television multiple times. Then it. Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show. So it's looking like the only state school that will be in the tournament will be Oral Roberts University,
Oh.
as they are undefeated in conference and expected to win their conference tournament. It would require OU or OSU to do some crazy things in the Big 12 tournament. Roger State, Central Oklahoma, they're in Division II tournaments right now.
Right.
So in that level, there are schools representing in the postseason, but OU and looking like OSU are going to miss the tournament. And I just wanted to make sure you mentioned it because ORU should get that. TU definitely ain't.
Right.
Yeah.
I think they're like 5 and something.
Well, but at least we got Oral.
See what Lindsay has for Balls to the Wall Sports.
Balls to the wall and balls to the wall. Balls to the wall.
The Baltimore Ravens know to have success in the NFL, a team needs a great quarterback. Ravens general manager confirmed to reporters at the scouting combine Wednesday that he covets great players, covets quarterbacks, and loves Lamar Jackson. When
Has to
asked
say all that.
whether he has to consider trading the starting quarterback at some point, he said that he has not factored in one time with me. Jackson is looking to sign a long-term contract after completing his rookie deal this past season. If the sides can't reach a new contract by Tuesday, Baltimore would have to put the franchise tag on him to keep him from becoming an unrestricted free agent. The Colts appear to be one of the teams looking to move up in this year's NFL draft. When asked at the scouting combine if Indianapolis would make an aggressive move to acquire a quarterback like Alabama's Bryce Young, general manager Chris Ballard said the team would trade up from the number 4 pick in the draft if they were just convicted that this is no freaking doubt the guy. The Chicago Bears are currently in possession of the number 1 overall pick, but it was reported earlier this week that the team is leaning towards trading the pick. The NFL Players Association has released free agency report cards for all 32 teams. Players were surveyed on topics that ranged from treatment of families to the quality of team facilities. The Minnesota Vikings, Miami Dolphins, and the Raiders were the 3 top-ranked teams in the survey. The Los Angeles Chargers, Arizona Cardinals, and Washington Commanders came in as the bottom 3 teams. NFLPA President J.C. Treader said the 60-question survey was taken by roughly 1,300 players.
Yeah, the Chiefs did not do well.
Oh, no.
Locker room, D-, training staff, D-, training room, D++, strength of staff, A-, weight room, C+, nutrition, D+, and then treatment of families, a B. Dallas Cowboys, probably one of the best, A+ or minus all around except training room, and they got a B. So it just goes to show, just because you have great stuff doesn't mean you're going to win things.
Yeah, there you go. That's your Balls of the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite, the original.
Did the team win?
Right. Goes, stumbles up, still drunk a little bit. Oh, goddamn tequila. Ay, Dios míos. Goes for the television to turn on the news. Click, click, nothing. TV's on the floor with bullet holes in it.
How stupid. And then do you upgrade after that, or do you just get whatever you get the Aspina brand that you've never heard of that's on sale for $200?
In case this happens again.
Yeah, right.
That's all you can afford. I mean,
right.
People don't keep a surplus TV budget. I don't think.
No, that's what pawn shops are made for, man.
I haven't bought a TV in like at least 4 years. And that's when I moved into the house.
Oh.
Oh, that's not true. I bought one for the playroom, I guess.
Yeah, but you bought one of the cheaper ones, right? You didn't go, Samsung or nothing like that.
Yeah. All I got to tell you is Roku. That's all I got to tell you.
I got
a
one
Roku TV is cheap and it works fine.
Absolutely.
People are like, well, how many HP did the thing and lines and all that? I'm like, it comes on.
Right. Does it have a picture? Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. Can you get to the YouTube? Yes. That's it.
I'm confident with higher level brands, you get a different picture.
Mm-hmm.
Confident.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't care.
Right.
It's kind of like a diamond ring.
Mm-hmm.
There's different levels of a diamond ring.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
But you get over a certain threshold, the human eye, cannot tell the difference.
Right. Now you're just spending money.
Yeah, there's
For
no reason to
status.
get, I don't know what it is, like an A diamond. You can't see the difference between an A, B, J, whatever. You need a monocle to do that.
Right.
So it's same with TVs. I'm like, who cares?
If it's going in a kid's room or like an outdoor TV, right there with you. If it's the main TV in the living room, though, no.
Oh, how about this? Someone's like, what if it's at your house? Like you invite me over to watch the game and I shoot the TV.
There is so much going on in that situation. One, you owe me a new TV, brah. Two, we're not friends anymore.
You can't shoot a gun in my house.
I'm calling the cops immediately. And if you try to run off before the police get there, I'm telling them everything. I'm rolling right on over. I'm telling them everything about you. Because now you've destroyed my house. It's one thing to destroy your own property, but you come into my house and you start firing guns.
And why do you got to carry a gun to a watch party?
Right.
Because you never know.
Sure.
Home invasions happen, Corbin,
Sure.
in the middle of football games.
No, listen, even robbers know there's nothing to take at a Cowboys fan house. I found this list of annoying things people say. I'll say the phrase. You guys tell me if you say it. This is going to be humiliating for all of us.
All right.
Okay.
Annoying things people say.
I don't mean to be rude, but I hate this phrase.
Mm-hmm.
You do mean to be rude.
Yeah. That's just like, hey, I don't mean to interrupt. But
That is a weird psychological thing you do as a human being to make yourself feel better. I don't mean to interrupt, but that type of thing.
I don't know if you say that. I don't think I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I say that.
Okay. It's common sense is another one. I've heard people say that.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's common sense, and people are lacking it nowadays.
Yeah.
Of the two we've read, I'm not willing to go all in that I've never said them.
Okay. I'll be honest. I've said both of those.
I simply have a powerful personality. I've never said that.
No, hell no.
I hate this statement. Let's agree to disagree.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's just, let's throw in the towel here.
Well, I mean, you arguing back and forth.
Right.
There's not going to be any resolution. Let's just agree to disagree.
I see that as I don't have anything else to argue about. I can't. I have nothing left. I have no more ammunition,
Mhm.
and I can't accept that I've lost,
Right.
or I can't accept that I've won, or whatever.
Uh-huh,
And so you go to that statement.
You should just stomp your feet and walk away.
It's just a joke.
Oh, geez. I said that
I've said that.
Yeah.
several times on the show.
Well, okay. What is said on the show is different than reality.
Right. I get that. I get that. They're just jokes. Say that to the people they're directed to when they take it personally. It's just a joke, man. Calm down.
These are annoying things people say. Let's unpack this. Okay, moving on.
Yeah. Mirror you.
Do you know who I am? I've never said that.
Never.
I never have either. Not like to anybody in particular. Like, I'm at, bar, restaurant. You know who I am?
Right.
No. But like in a joking manner.
Telling a story?
Yeah.
For sure.
You know who I am?
No, you're right.
Come on.
And I've been with people that have said it and it makes me cringe. Like where they've said, do you know who this is? I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that.
Next couple are going to sting. It is what it is.
Oh, that's my fave. That is my absolute fave.
I will validate that. That is annoying to hear. Well, actually.
Ugh. Those come in on a lot of texts on here.
Yeah. And on the show.
Mhm.
Love the sinner, hate the sin.
No.
Again, another phrase that people use to excuse behavior.
Right.
Yes.
I always keep it real, and a lot of people can't handle the truth I speak.
That's just a way of saying I'm an asshole.
Totally. I've said that. I've said that line.
Mm-hmm.
That's problematic. I don't find that one annoying.
No.
That's an observation you're making. You're not critiquing anybody. You're like, well, that's problematic.
Yeah. You can see something on the horizon, like this is going to cause some issues. Yeah.
I need to speak to a manager.
Hi, Karen. I've never had to say that.
I can't, upon reflection, like with not in the moment of or whatever, I can't think of a reason I need to speak to the manager.
No. Place, wherever it is.
Agreed.
There's nothing me speaking to the manager will fix.
No.
It is strictly an ego move.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know you've heard me.
Right.
I need to believe you're going to fix this.
Mm-hmm.
Not to play the devil's advocate, but show's based off that theory. Trust the science. I've heard that too.
Right.
I'm just an aggressive person. I have a lot on my mind.
I'm an asshole, and I need to get all this out.
Full stop.
That sounds familiar.
I've heard that. Why are you such in a bad mood? Bitch, when I'm in a bad mood, and you go, why are you such in a bad mood? Whew.
Mm-hmm.
Whew.
Just stay. Don't even ask.
Right.
Or when they think that you're in a bad mood. Why are you so angry? Why are you so grumpy? I'm not. If I was in a bad mood, you'd know it. I'm just here chilling.
But on the same side, if someone, like, shouldn't we be better as individuals and goes, hey, someone's being concerned and just calling a spade a spade.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Hey, why are you such in a bad mood? I'm not in a bad mood.
Right.
Okay. I'm
Stop
concerned
yelling
for
at
your
me.
mental well-being,
Sure.
man. Sorry, next time I'll use a more politically correct term, you pussy.
Just leave me alone.
Hey, listen, I'm just keeping it real. I'm just being honest.
Yeah. You got a lot
Full
on your
stop.
mind.
Is there another way to come at someone like that? If you recognize someone in a bad mood?
Oh, yeah, it's easy. Just leave them be.
There's definitely don't play an active part in a person's life. Probably you have to be a little more kid glovish, right? And you're like, hey, little fella, you look like you're struggling. What's been going on? Come on, here's a lollipop. Tell me what the problem is.
Can I be a shoulder for you to cry on?
Here's another one. Live, laugh, love.
I've
Said
seen
it.
those signs.
My wife finally is getting rid of the gather sign in our dining room. I have
Oh.
no idea where we're going to eat.
What's her reason for getting rid of it? She's just like, all right,
I think I've pushed the button enough.
fine. We'll take it down. Why are you in such a bad mood?
People come over, or my girls will go, "Where are we eating dinner tonight?" I'm like, just look for the sign.
Right? Tell you where to go.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
totally thought you were like, I have no idea why. I have no idea where we're gonna eat.
Right, because the sign says
I know,
gather.
I love it.
And it's a play on like, hey, we're
I
family.
know.
Okay.
This is
Trying
awesome.
to help you. For your situational awareness. I don't.
No.
No, seems like a lot.
Another one that is a button. Calm down.
Yes.
Calm down is a move someone says to try and like establish alpha.
Right. Dominance.
Yeah.
Instead of peeing on their leg or whatever.
Yeah.
Just calm down.
This line. I work hard. When I hear this line, I just laugh inside. Because if you have to announce you
Right.
work hard, you don't.
A king that has to say he is king is no king.
Right.
Game of Thrones.
You are insecure in your hard work ethic
Right.
that you must pronounce to the world that you do.
Uh-huh.
When letting your actions should reflect that, right? I reject the premise of that question. If you said that to me, I'd probably laugh.
Mhm.
Get out of here with that.
Gimpy and I laugh about this one all the time. If I were you,
Oh, you should just.
you should just as a variation of
right
that.
along the same lines.
You
yes.
need to.
This is another one I love. Threat to our democracy.
Oh, good Lord.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Those are great ways to communicate with us. I'm Corbin. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning. You know, the talkback feature also on our iHeart app is such a wonderful way to get in touch with us. You can comment on our conspiracy theories or ask Gimpy out on a lunch date, whatever you want. I got one pulled up. Let's listen to an example of what our listeners are saying today.
An idea. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, that's nice. That
Okay.
worked out well.
Or I guess you could do that. That's
Thanks.
Huh.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Good morning, man. You know, the Shamrock Pub Crawl is coming up soon, but just weeks after that is the Crawl for Cancer, where you can spend the day drinking with us. You can sign up for both of them on the contest page at KMOD.com.
All right, we do top list on Thursdays at this time. Let's get started.
It's time for Big Man Morning Show's top list. Random topics, randomly drawn with random results. Now here's Corbin, Gimpy, and Lindsay with this week's top list.
This week's top list is anti-bucket list items. We've had people going, what's your bucket list? Well, what's not your bucket list? What are things you're like, there is no way I'm doing that? So we'll start with Lindsay. Number 5, what's on your anti-bucket list?
Well, Corbin, this was once probably on my bucket list, but it is not anymore. And that would be bungee jumping.
I feel like I've heard you say you want to do that.
When this first came out, I thought it looked really cool. And, you know, you see the videos and I thought, you know, people are like, wee, it looks so much fun. No, it looks terrifying. And I am afraid of heights. So I just feel like with brakes on and I just die. It would
How often
kill
does that
me.
happen?
That's a good question.
It is a great question. It happened to a friend of mine. She bungee jumped at a fair, at a county fair. And lucky for her, there was a huge, giant trampoline underneath her, but the bungee cord did break and she did fall. Yeah.
I feel like that's a different level. Like
Uh-huh.
bungee jumping at a fair.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Feels like
Absolutely
you're
it is.
asking to live in a remote area and then get snowed in and ask for help. Like,
Mhm.
It says here that your chances of the bungee cord breaking is 1 in 500,000.
pretty small number.
Yeah.
Still a chance.
Mountain hiking, you can die 1 in 15,000. Skydiving, 1 in 101,000. And bicycling, 1 in 140,000.
So bicycling and bungee jumping very close in terms of death.
Yeah.
I just feel like if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have luck at all. And that would be my thing.
Sure.
Number 4 on my list, climbing Mount Everest. Not going to do it. Not on my bucket list of things that I need to do. Any mountain climbing for me, really. Don't really need to do that.
You don't want to take a left at the green coat body?
Nope.
Right.
Absolutely not.
Hey, Frank, how you doing?
Right.
Cold down there, isn't it?
Now I do like going up to the mountains and skiing down to them. That sounds great. I used to love skiing. It's a very expensive sport, hobby, whatever. But climbing,
Okay, so that's the only difference is the chairlift to the top.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Number 3, I love fishing. Noodling, not something I ever want to do.
Why not?
Interesting. This feels like in your wheel. Like you would love the urge, like the excitement of it.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Say more, because you claim to be this outdoorsy
Sticking
person.
my hand into a dark hole underwater, waiting for a giant catfish to bite my arm and me pull that out. I like my digits. I like my hand. I do not want them to bite off a finger.
Has that happened?
Yeah. People have lost fingers.
From fish?
From
noodling.
Fish.
From
noodling. Yes.
I don't know about from the fish.
Yes.
Maybe a snapping turtle, alligator snapping turtle, maybe even a beaver.
A gar.
Yeah.
Yes.
But from a flathead, I don't think so.
It has happened.
You make it sound like it's common.
I don't know how common
I don't think it's common.
Again, I don't want to risk it.
I hear you.
Don't want to risk
It's
it.
your
Because you don't know what is lurking under those waters. Just, and some people will use probably gloves, I would hope, but some don't. That just to me would freak me out.
So quickly, from the Wildlife and Environmental Medicine's Journal.
Yeah.
Noodling for catfish is more common recreational activity in the U.S. While rare, significant injuries can occur. Potential injuries include lacerations,
Sure,
of course,
cuts on the arms, tiny teeth,
aquatic infections,
of course,
which you would get just from being in the water, has zero to do with noodling. Catfish spine imbomation.
Oh, that's when they flog you with their dangle fins.
Yeah,
that hurts.
Which can happen just fishing for catfish.
Absolutely.
So, and foreign body reaction. So, nothing specific to noodling.
Pass.
Or even losing a limb. The cuts on the arms is about as close as that gets in that.
Yeah, but you could get a laceration while reaching over the boat to pull a poisson out of the water.
Right. Or you cut your foot on a sharp rock while you're swimming in a lake.
You can put the needle through your webbed finger.
Yeah.
That all sounds terrible.
I'm not trying to talk you into it. That's just things I've never explored.
I am trying to talk her into it. Come on.
Nope.
Stick your hand in that dark hole.
Absolutely
By the way, noodling is illegal in 34 states. Go ahead.
Really?
Illegal?
Illegal.
How about that?
How about that, though?
Number 2 on my list is joining the Mile High Club.
Huh.
I don't think I have, at least I can't remember ever actually being in an airplane bathroom, like ever using one. But I know they're extremely small, and I have a very tall husband, and I'm not
you're both
exactly
very tall people.
short. So I just feel like that cramped space, very uncomfortable. You're not going to get a lot done. And it would just not be something that I would be into. I want to enjoy having sex, and that just seems like it would be too much of a chore just to be in stupid club.
I don't
say
think
that I've done it.
You do it for the enjoyment of the sex. You do it just to say you
It's not a romantic thing.
Not a romantic thing.
No, it's just to say you did it. It's just to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Adventurous.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I think it would be.
What about a private plane?
Maybe on a private plane, but then if it's on a private plane, then why go to the bathroom?
Just because you have more money doesn't mean you don't have to piss.
Right. But then just right there on the plane, right from your seat, right? Like,
Well, there's a stewardess.
turn around, lady. I
don't want a
you.
listener. I don't want someone listening in.
Oh. Number 1, jumping out of a plane and going skydiving. Now, this was definitely once on my bucket list. And then once children came, it was like that was off. Because if I died, Kevin said, I can't raise these kids alone. So you have to do this before we have kids.
But I just
And
told
now
you.
the thought
Uh-huh.
is it does definitely terrify me.
I just told you the chances if you die in skydiving is 1 in 101,000.
Yeah, but it terrifies me. Heights terrify me
but
even more.
The height thing will be gone before you know it.
No, as I've gotten older,
the earth.
as I've gotten older, though, my fear of heights has grown stronger. So just like looking down, thinking about that, like I think I would probably pee my pants before I even jumped out of the plane.
I think it was awesome, and I would totally do it again.
Some text coming in. I have noodled for over 30 years, and I have never lost a digit. Another one. If the velocity of the bird in the aircraft equal the headwinds, okay, that sounds awesome. Yeah. Pretty good.
Thanks.
Yeah. The thing about this is like, I just want to talk about them. I'm not trying to convince you. Because I sure as hell know you ain't going to convince me of mine, right? We're doing anti-bucket list items. Gimpy, what do you have for number 5?
Well, number 5 on mine was also bungee jumping. Like, I do the skydiving mostly because you're attached to somebody when, your first couple of times. You're flying tan. With the bungee jumping, you're not attached to anybody. There's no safety net there at all whatsoever. All right. I'm not really afraid of the cord breaking, as that is a possibility. It's more of, I don't know, maybe the cord being too long and smashing my head on the rocks below. Or those ones that are like, you see them on the internet and it's like they're bungee jumping into an alligator infested pond. You bungee jump down, you get your head wet, and you're coming up with a gator attached to it. Ooh. See, those are things that I'm just like, I'm good. I'm good on that. So that's number 5. Number 4, and you see people doing this. Hell, I think we had one in Oklahoma City, what was like last year. Scale a skyscraper. Free climb a skyscraper. No chance in hell. I would possibly do it if there were like safety ropes and harnesses, and because I don't mind doing like the rock walls and stuff like that. I've done it before, and it's fun and it's dangerous too. Yeah, you could slip and fall, you could break a leg, break an arm, break a neck. But for me, if I'm going to scale something, I want there to be some kind of safety mechanism there, and just free climbing a skyscraper. I don't want, hell, this isn't a skyscraper. It's only 5 floors, and there's no chance you can get me to free scale that sumbitch. It's just, I'm not taking that chance. Number 3 here, you probably know what I'm talking about when I say it, but squirrel suit. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I don't say base jumping, because base jumping, there's a
squirrel suit flying, yeah.
Yeah. There's like a parachute involved
flying
in
suit.
It. Flying suit, squirrel suit, exactly. And the videos look awesome when people are doing it, and they're zipping through the the valleys or wherever the hell they're at. You jump off a giant mountain and you're flying, and it looks cool. It looks great, but knowing my luck, I get like a crosswind, and then my like right flap would like collapse, and the next thing you know, I'm spinning out of control, and it can't get it.
Is that like hand gliding?
What's a hang gliding?
Hang gliding.
Okay.
Hang gliding, kind of, except hang gliding, you have a kind of a big parachute type of kite thing to keep give you lift, and the only lift you get from squirrel suit flying is the flaps between your thighs and your wrists.
Yeah.
So, but watching people do it's amazing. Andy Stumpf, if I remember correctly, Navy SEAL, he has the longest distance squirrel record.
That's fun.
Or whatever it's called. I'm totally mutilating it.
Yeah.
And he does it for fun. Like, he loves it.
Yeah.
It takes skill and talent and all those things. Like, it's not like he's like a derp.
Right. I'm sure there's some kind of training that goes involved. Surely there's some kind of training that goes involved in that. I'm not taking the chance.
Here's a math on it. I can do it. I can do it.
As they push you off the cliff.
Yeah.
I have no choice. So that's number 3. Number 2, ride a bull. Ride a bull.
That's a good one.
I have no want to. I've seen 8 seconds. All right. I've seen Tough Hedeman get his nuts stomped on and damn near ripped his ding dong off. I'm not doing it. I've seen the reason why they wear the protective face masks now. Wingsuit. But you knew what I was talking about when I say squirrel suit. Yeah. I have no want to get on this massive 2,000-pound plus animal and let it buck me back and forth so I can smash my face on its head. I'm good on all that. And number 1 is kind of related to number 2, and that's run with the bulls. Go to Spain. One, I'm not going to travel to Spain anytime soon. All right. That stuff is expensive. And then 2, I don't want to run from the damn bulls. Corbin and I've kind of talked about it before on air. It would be fun to kind of be in the alleyways as they're running through the streets or whatnots. And as long as I can get the hell out of the way and not get gored, I watch the spectacle happen. I can watch other people run for their lives and get gored. Those are some gnarly pictures on the internet. If you have never looked at it, just go ahead and give you a good Google search of running with the bull accidents. All right. And that I have no desire to want to do that. I smoke too much to be able to run from anything, let alone a goddamn bull that is running full speed and pissed off because I'm wearing a little red sash.
Mhm.
All right. And 2, I just don't know. I'm not putting myself into that position. So there you go. Number 1, running with the bulls.
It's a really good one.
This is so awesome because my list is so big.
Yeah.
The number of things I won't do are minor and major all at the same time. So I am totally free balling this. I am not 5 through 1 to this. I'm looking at my list and I'm just going with it. So the first one that I have on here, I'll go controversial.
Okay.
Threesome. I got no desire to do it. It don't sound fun. The romanticism of it sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's going to be this ultra pleasing thing.
Yeah.
No, rarely do expectations meet reality.
Now, is that just simply an older Corbin thing? Would a younger Corbin have done that?
Oh, I'm going with Corbin right now. Younger Corbin, a lot of these probably wouldn't exist.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Right.
As you get older, you realize time is precious and why jeopardize things.
Yeah.
Right? So, maybe younger Corbin would do this.
Gotcha.
But a threesome is not something I'm interested in.
So much work.
Everything comes with interest. And I don't want the interest off a threesome. Whether somebody gets too attached, whether I'm the one disposed of at the end, whatever it plays out, I don't want that smoke.
Great point.
Got a divorce because you had a threesome and your wife found the other.
Yeah. Sounds horrible. Or the other one gets crazy and won't leave us alone.
Right. Who says it has to be a lady?
Yeah.
white female.
Yeah. Number 4, I'll stay in controversy. Jalapeno eating contest. I got no desire to try and jam as many hot jalapenos, ghost peppers, whatever, into my mouth and beat someone else at it and then sit there and drool out of every orifice of my body trying to regain composure.
Yeah.
That don't sound fun to me.
Yeah, I learned a long time eating hot peppers to impress people is not a good idea. No.
Number 3, spelunking. Too many, you see people do these lately where in the TikToks or some on Instagram, they play the song Dumb Ways to Die.
Dumb ways to die.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah.
They are awesome. And the one I've seen a lot lately is where people go cave spelunking, but the only entrance to a cave is a hole the size of their own body. And that's how they get into the cave.
Yeah.
I like to be able to run to my exit.
Not squeeze your fat ass through it.
And and hope I can get back out. What's the plan if I can't get out?
Right. You're stuck. Like boobs up. That you're just stuck.
And do you have any claustrophobia at all?
I will in that.
Exactly.
That's number 3. Number 2. I don't know the right term for this. I don't know the right term for this, so I'm just going to call it my own made up term. Deep one breath diving.
Okay.
People that take one breath and then try to dive as deep down as they can, sometimes taking 10, 15 minutes to get to that spot, free diving.
Yeah.
And then coming back to the surface in a calculated way so they don't die.
Yeah, that's
Nope.
scary.
There's too many factors that can go wrong, and I'll just be honest. I don't trust my body. I might have to fart.
There goes all your oxygen.
I may get the hiccups. I may have to sneeze. I don't want to tempt fate. Fate, as we've demonstrated earlier, already picks its opportunities to kick me in the balls. I ain't helping.
I wonder if you free dive, okay, and you're on your way back up and you're running low on the oxygen, if you could rip a fart and then you see get where I'm going, and then take in that oxygen bubble and survive off of your fart bubble enough to get you to the top of it.
I don't know if you were at school that day. I don't think you fart oxygen.
It's still air.
You need oxygen.
It's
not air that you need. It's oxygen.
That's close
Yeah.
enough.
He's like, it's going to work like a jetpack and push me up.
You don't see very many people or in movies when they're diving, trying to stay under the water, taking in oxygen that way.
Got a hose.
My anxiety would kick in on my way up anyway, and I would probably drown. I would freak out. That's what would happen.
Yeah.
I'm with you on free diving.
The last one, I have so many to choose from. Some of them are bad, like, of course, some of them are not. So do we want an of course one, or do we want one like, really, Corbin?
I like really.
Skiing.
Really?
I like. Yeah, that wasn't planned either, was it?
No.
I like my knees.
I don't ski on your knees, bro.
People's knees go out. you look up the number of injuries people get from skiing and the knee problems they have from it.
Okay.
I'm not built to do that. I don't think skiing is crazy like spelunking is crazy.
Right.
But for me, I got no desire. You know what doesn't sound fun? Being injured and waiting for a rescue while I'm freezing my balls off.
Right. I just think looking at Sonny Bono is enough for me to say, no, not Sonny. Yeah, Sonny Bono. Sonny and Cher.
Dude, there's an amazing story I saw on the news a couple weeks ago about a kid who lost his vision and he still does drop-in ski competitions. For those that don't know, you go in a helicopter, they drop you and you have to ski down. And the way this guy does it is his dad is down at the bottom with binoculars, talking in his ear, telling him left, right, left, right. So good on him.
Oh, no.
I feel like if you've lost your vision, you're like, yeah, let's go another round, Mother Nature. Right? Good on him. Impressive. I know a lot of people that ski. I know a lot of people that love it. And I ain't saying you shouldn't do it. I'm saying for me, the idea of getting knee surgery in any capacity does not sound fun. And so why take on the temptation?
Yeah.
And furthermore, Susan, it's cold.
It is.
Hold on. It's cold. So you're going to freeze. You're going to wait in line freezing. I've got to take some sort of well-managed device to the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
I've got to rent skis because I can't afford them. And I got to pay for a rental product to get me to the bottom.
Right.
There's just too many factors for me that I'm like, this makes no sense.
So if you go to places like Colorado or ski in California, anywhere where there's a high mountain range, like it can be warm. You can ski. I mean, you go to the top of the mountain, you're taking layers off because, I mean, the sun is shining. You know,
Great. Now I got to have a bag to take my luggage down with me?
Yeah. And then when you get down, you're putting your coat back on because it does get a lot chillier. But it is a lot of fun. And most accidents are happening when people are going where there's, you know, it's a much more dangerous run, or they're going in on unmarked territory. You know, they're going where they're not supposed to.
Everybody I know that's been injured skiing,
yeah,
has had knee surgery. They were skiing.
Yeah.
They were just skiing. They weren't being, on a black diamond back slope, black bleak.
Right.
They were just skiing. They weren't being adventurous.
Yeah. Accidents can happen to, even the best skiers. So.
And I looked it up to compare skiing to noodling. Skiing, it's like 1 in 1 million or something like that, die skiing.
Okay.
But that didn't say injuries.
Right.
But more people ski, I think, than noodle.
Sure. But the stat still works the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got some awesome other ones, by the way.
What do we got?
Well, we don't have to go. Somebody put Formula One driver. Yeah. The idea of going that fast, the boat racing one is the one that I'm like, that doesn't look awesome. Because any turbulence in the water and you're out of your boat.
Right. You see those drag boats out there, and surely they've mapped it out and they know there's not any stumps under the water, but you never know. A mackerel or a fish or something. There you go.
Anybody notice that there's nothing sexual on Gimpy's list?
He down for whatever.
We didn't hear what number 6 was.
Yeah, right.
What about the lady from Sallisaw who died skydiving last week? Yep, we talked about that. It does happen in skydiving. I thought Corbin's number 1 would be flipping a hoarder house. I ain't afraid of flipping. I ain't afraid of dirt.
Right. You might actually get off on that sort of thing. All the cleaning.
I don't know if that would happen, but I'm not afraid of a project because it's dirty.
Yeah.
I'm a clean freak, but that doesn't mean I don't acknowledge you get dirty. Yeah. There is an endless list on here.
Yeah.
Things that I definitely would not do on my anti-bucket list. All right, we're going to post this on Facebook. We'll take a break and we'll be back.
The Big Mad Morning Show returns next. Tulsa's Morning Show.
Control, Shift, and T will restore an accidentally closed tab. So if you've ever been on your computer and a tab closes, Control, Shift, and T will bring that tab back.
Well, that's fun.
And Control, Alt, Shift, T will bring back a window you accidentally closed.
Huh. That's a lot to be pressing at one time.
For you, yes.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Well, that's fun to know because there's been plenty of times that I'll be buzzing around and accidentally hit the X button and it closes everything. And I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
I got to start all over again. Okay. Control Shift T.
Yeah. I mean, if you close the program, you're probably out of luck. But this one I learned not too long ago. But antiperspirant and deodorant are not the same thing. Antiperspirant stops you from sweating. Deodorant covers up the smell of sweating.
Yeah.
Which do you prefer?
I don't wear it.
At all? Right. You Mr. Stinky Pits all day, every day, huh?
I mean, I don't stink.
Okay. I guess it helps to do something.
I don't stink.
Even after when you're rolling around.
No, I mean, if I'm like doing yard work or, sweating it up, yes, of course.
I have to put deodorant on every day. And if I don't, because there's been times that I forget, I've had to go and buy a small little travel size stick for here because I'm like, I feel weird. I feel weird without any on. And then I feel like I can smell.
Do you shave your armpit hair?
I trim. I don't shave.
Right.
Yeah. I don't shave bald down like a lady or whatever. But yeah, I knock that stuff down. But yeah, that seems to be a trend nowadays where ladies are letting it grow out like man length armpit hairs and like dyeing it or just letting it be.
Dyeing it.
And I find that the most disgusting thing ever.
I don't think that's common.
I don't think it is either. I think maybe it's like a handful of people.
Okay.
Some people are doing it. I didn't learn until like in my 40s to trim my armpit hair.
Oh, absolutely. You have to. You get all poking out like you got buckwheat in a headlock.
No one ever told me.
Or shave down yonder.
I've talked about that.
Trim that as well. You stinking ass.
Yeah, it looks like an abandoned house. Yeah. Humans do use 100% of their brain.
What? I mean,
it's a myth that you use only 10%. Your brain can't handle walking and using your smartphone at the same time.
You can't handle walking, and I do it every day.
Your brain can't handle walking and using your smartphone at the same time. This says each activity uses the same cognitive functions. So you can be walking along, looking at Twitter, and not notice that the moving object coming toward you is a car.
Because you got your face buried in the phone. Pay attention. Look up every now
But
and
you can
again.
talk on the phone
Yeah.
and do it, right?
If you're looking ahead.
The one who walks straight into a passerby because we're busy texting. Try not to be that person because your brain can't handle it.
I guess it makes sense. I always chalked it up to just dirt not looking, not paying attention because you're busy looking at your phone.
Yeah, you're not paying attention because you can't.
Mhm.
Right.
Remember the limits of 3 in human endurance. You can go 3 minutes without air, 3 hours in extreme conditions without shelter,
Wow.
3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food. Assuming you're breathing, then your priorities in a survival situation are shelter, water, food, in that order.
Interesting.
Which explains why Naked and Afraid is only 21 days.
Yeah.
Because you might be doing a 21-day starvation. Have you watched some of those specials about people that do deep water diving and how long they hold their air?
Well, I know they can hold it for a damn long time. Very impressive.
It's crazy. And then the whole they can't come to the surface too fast type of thing because they'll die.
Right.
I try to do sports that don't involve a chance of me dying. That's just me being a beta. I just try not to do that type of thing. Right.
Hold your breath and dive to the bottom of the ocean.
I think we all know this one. You can't extinguish an oil fire with water.
No.
Yeah, about that.
Use a blanket or flour or something. This one's awesome. Any month that begins on a Sunday will have a Friday the 13th.
Okay, I've heard that before.
World War I officially ended on October 3rd, 2010. World War I officially ended on October 3rd, 2010. So next time you're at the bar trying to strung up some conversation, let that be one for you. Apparently, that was the day Germany paid its final reparations under the Treaty of Versailles.
Wow. And we had a whole nother world war after that. It was like,
I'm still trying to do this one.
Real,
Yeah.
That Germany, man, just like a bunch of plates in the air.
Yeah, right.
Naked Las Vegas man ran through hotels swinging toilet plunger. So this happened in Des Moines, Iowa. Traven Wayne Hill, he's 21 years old. He's accused of running naked through this hotel, wielding a toilet plunger and pulling fire alarms. It happened on January 28th. He was arrested, charged with assault while displaying a dangerous weapon, first-degree criminal mischief, and disorderly conduct, according to the Polk County online booking records. Now, according to the Des Moines Police Department, Hill approached a victim in the 18th floor stairwell at the Des Moines Marriott downtown with the toilet plunger. According to court documents, the naked man yelled, "I'm going to effing get you," as he chased the victim.
No.
Police said that multiple people saw him allegedly pull fire alarms around the hotel. The man continued running on several floors, swinging the plunger until he was subdued by the police. He was booked into the jail, posted bail on the very next day, according to court records. He pleaded not guilty to the charges and will appear in court at a later date. The guy, he's 21. I don't know if he's from Vegas. I don't know what he was doing in Iowa, but he looks kind of like an entitled brat who was probably pissed to be in Iowa on maybe around his birthday time or something. He'd rather be back in Vegas, partying, living it up. I don't know.
He was just drunk.
That's what I got from his photo.
Okay. I think most people that live in Vegas aren't partying up.
No, but he looks like the type that wishes like he would have been there rather than in Iowa. So he's going to spend mom and dad's money and just make a mess of himself. That's what I get from his mugshot.
I'm going to go to Iowa and cause trouble.
Yeah.
Said no one ever.
Right.
You go to Vegas, you cause trouble. Go to LA, go to New York City. Nobody goes to Iowa just to cause trouble.
I do not have a counter to that. I grew up in Iowa. I do not have a counter to that.
You only cause trouble in Iowa if you're from there because you got nothing else to do in Iowa.
Right, because the gravel road. Yeah, you're on the gravel road drinking.
Man breaks into home and hides under sheet. I'm not sheeting you. This is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it sounds like it. The lead-in sounds insane.
Happens in West Virginia, where this gal, she's sleeping and she hears glass breaking in her house. So she goes to check and she sees a strange man in her house. Oh no. So she runs upstairs to be with her granddaughters and she calls the police. Help, there's somebody in my house. So the police come down and they're searching around and they go to the back room. They see a pile of sheets. They see the pile of sheets move. Well, that sheet is not supposed to move. So they found 30-year-old William Brewer hiding underneath the sheet. Now, first they tried to cuff the man. He tried to run, but, they cuffed him anyway. He told the police that he only did it because he was high on the drugs and he needed a place to sleep. He says that, I guess he broke into the lady's house next door. She called the cops too. He says that he broke into that house.
460 KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. This is pretty interesting. A teacher in Canada has been suspended or placed on paid leave. Why, might you ask? Apparently because she has massive Z-cup breasts.
Yeah.
A Z cup. Oh,
I don't know how this is possible. She's the shop teacher.
That's fun. She also the softball coach.
She ain't working on the lathe.
please tell me there's a photograph.
Oh yeah. She's currently on active assignment, according to the school district. Her suspension comes after the education people that are in charge of it rebuked the school board for having abdicated its responsibility for failing to put the interest and safety of students first. One mother named Karen said that the forms and identity and expression presented in the school environment must be scrutinized against the child's safeguarding practices. The board remained largely quiet while parents have raged for months about her wearing the prosthetics in front of students. Photos and videos in school have shown her wearing tight clothing and large nipples protruding under the fabric.
Big boobies.
The controversy has sparked numerous threats of violence against this woman and school officials. Board of Education meetings have descended into chaos because people can't have decorum. The saga gained international attention and came to a head last month that once outside school, this person would ditch the breasts, wigs, and makeup and appear as a man.
What?
Photos showed a dressed down version of this woman wearing men's sweatpants, sneakers, and a puffer vest with no signs of her breasts, makeup, glasses, or wig. A getup that her neighbors said she was wearing was extremely infrequent. Not infrequent, extremely infrequent. That's more than infrequent, but which would be frequent, I would nonetheless. She insisted in a sit down with a local paper that the man in the photos was not her, although she admitted she could not prove it and denied wearing prosthetic breasts at all.
No, these are my real boobs.
That's exactly what she said. These are real. Adding that she could not say who the person photographed was because I don't want to bring anyone else into this. This is who I am. This is how I look. You've been talking to people in my building, but what they're telling you is a harsh and untrue statement. I've always looked the way I am. She told the newspaper that although she began undergoing hormone replacement therapy in 2021 and was in transition, she is not a transgendered person, but was born intersex. The teacher said her extra large breasts are caused by a condition called gigantosomastis, but also admitted she's never been officially diagnosed.
Lady, you got some big old bitties.
Most people are not officially diagnosed, for the record.
Right.
Are breasts too big for a school setting? That's really the question I wanted to ask. Can a teacher have too big of breasts to teach students?
Lindsay.
Wow. That is a good question. And
Thanks.
no, I don't think so. I think that, I mean, she might want to, gosh, personally, she probably would want to cover up, but you can't. I mean, if they're a size Z, what can you do?
You mean show no skin?
Right. Anything she wears is going to be tight on her. There's nothing she could probably wear that's going to, you know what I mean? Like
if she wears a trench coat,
yeah,
it's going to look ridiculous.
Exactly.
It's not going to get
anything
around.
she does.
What do you think, Gimpy?
Yes, they can be too big. It's a distraction to the class.
Sure.
The kids aren't learning because they're too distracted by your massive honkers. You know what I mean? And that's no different than these highly attractive school teachers. It's the same thing.
So you can be too attractive to be a teacher?
Oh, absolutely.
Should you lose your job for being too attractive?
Not lose your job, but like, let's just say you're too attractive, right? You're coming in, you're wearing like tight pants, tight mini skirts. You got your boobs spilling out, you know, the red hot lipstick on, you know, with the glasses, long hair flowing.
Where are these teachers? On a porn?
There's attractive. Think about it. There were for the longest time. We're teachers, female teachers, you know, get caught banging their students. And we to a point to where we're like, is she teacher hot? You know what I mean? We'd go through and we'd rate them.
Teacher hot was a curve based on teachers not looking like the description you just gave.
I'm just saying there are attractive teachers out there. And if they're a distraction and the students aren't getting anything taught because they're too busy checking out the hot teacher or checking out the massive boobs, then you need to tone it down a bit.
No, I don't think breasts can be too big. I don't think you can be too hot. I think you got to teach people tolerance, right? You got to teach people that just because someone's attractive or just because they've got Z's or what the book has some words in it you don't agree with doesn't mean you shouldn't be exposed to it, because you're going to get out there in the real world and meet people like this.
Yeah, but if we can prevent that for now.
Prevent what? Running into things into society? That is the place to learn.
Right. But these are children, school-age children that we're dealing with. You can deal with, you know, people that are weird on a regular basis when you're an adult.
We're not talking weird because we gave two different examples, right? Large breasts and pretty. You are going to deal with different people all the time. So if you can't learn that in school and learn tolerance in school, where can you learn it?
Right.
You have to learn manners. It's simple.
It's a weird flex, man. Like people are like, whoa, I don't like that. It's like one of the local news stations is running a thing right now on homelessness, and somebody's got a solution to build these things. And the people are like, yeah, let's fight homeless. And they're like, hey, they're going to build it in your backyard. And they're like, whoa.
Negative.
Yeah, not in my backyard.
Across town.
Yeah,
I'm good with.
Somebody else's backyard, not mine.
Upstate, as we have demonstrated earlier in the show.
Yeah. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back.
Tulsa's morning show, the Big Mad.
They taking the body themselves.
Ambulances don't take bodies.
Oh.
They transport to the hospital.
Okay, why weren't they doing that then?
Because they said it was dead.
It just all seems so weird. Like
when a body's dead, they don't take it to the hospital.
I beg to differ. They took my mom to the hospital.
Did they?
St. John's.
But were they trying to save her on the way?
She was already dead. She was dead.
The two experiences.
Dead.
The two experiences that I have had with dead people who have died in the home.
Yeah.
The ambulance comes. They don't take the body.
Yeah. When my mom died, you know, I got the calls. We was on 21st and they lived on 21st and shared anyhow. So I get to the house and the ambulance is backed up in the driveway and they got her on the gurney, putting her in the back of the ambulance, taking her to the hospital. She's already pronounced dead.
It feels like an extra trip to take them to the hospital.
I don't know.
Well, that's where the morgue
is not at the hospital. The hospital has a morgue.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know how it works out.
Yeah.
They did the same thing with my dad, too. My dad died at the house, and they picked him up, took him to the hospital, and that's where we got to say our final goodbyes.
Yeah,
So,
and I don't know. It's like, do you check? Maybe they check the ID. It's like, are they a organ donor? Maybe that's why you take the body to the hospital. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how that works out.
And so again, I'm not an EMT. So,
Mhm.
like, you're an EMT, they die, you go, all right, where's their wallet? I got to check their ID to see if they're an organ donor. How does that work?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think you let the people at the hospital deal with it. You know, like, we're just here to drop the body off. Y'all figure it out.
And is there a code like they call in? Like, do they do lights if they're taking a dead body to the hospital? Do they run code to the hospital?
Right, lights and sirens and the whole nine.
Yeah. I would think not. It's
Probably
not an
not.
emergency.
Right.
Exactly.
But if they're an organ donor, time is of the essence on those things.
Uh-huh.
Right.
They have a shelf life.
Man busted with a ton of child porn. So police in Florida.
Is he a cross-dresser?
You should see the mugshot. It's a doozy. Police got a tip in January about some child sexual abuse material being uploaded to the internet at this address.
It's the Crypt Keeper.
They check it out. And that's where they come. They find a 17-year-old Paul Zytel at his home. They searched the house. They found more than 220,000 printed images, weighing in at 2,600 pounds. This cat had a literal ton of child porn strode throughout his house in boxes on boxes on boxes in his garage, or excuse me, in his office and in his bedroom. Obviously, they arrested the guy. He's in on a $250,000 bond.
It's Herbert.
You boys like pop
It's Herbert from Family Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Herbert the pervert.
You can take your shirt off if you want to.
Attorney accused of stealing settlements to cover drugs and porn.
Was it child porn?
An attorney suspended by the Florida Supreme Court is accused of taking settlement money from his personal injury clients. Deputies say 44-year-old Christopher Reynolds used the money on items including drugs, prostitutes, ride sharing. I don't know if that's in there. I don't know. And adult websites.
Just to show that he's not a total deviant.
Yeah.
He's responsible.
Yeah.
He takes an Uber when he goes out.
Yeah.
Come on.
Drugs, prostitutes, DoorDash, and adult websites. Drugs, prostitutes, bespoke, adult websites. Why did they throw that in there? It's so weird. Detectives say at least 16 clients lost more than $850,000. They believe there's more victims. He could face as much as 30 years in prison if convicted on all charges.
Damn.
Congratulations. I got good news. I got bad news. What's the good news? We won.
Woohoo.
What's the bad news? Ooh, there's no money left.
Sweet potato cracks 2011 cold case leads to Massachusetts man's arrest.
Is that like the informant's name?
They call me Sweet Tater.
Hey, man, don't talk to Sweet Potato.
No, the Massachusetts police made a pretty spectacular break.
Oh, don't.
Yeah, Friday, in a decade-old case murder, thanks to an actual sweet potato. They arrested the suspect on Friday in a February 27th, 2011 shooting death of Todd Lampley.
Lindsay, what'd you learn today?
Every day I learned something more and more closer to every day I learned something more and more about Gimpy, and it resembles something closer to a show on A&E. And also I learned that when life kicks you in the balls, hey, at least we've got oral. Sorry.
Gimpy, what'd you
Oral.
learn today?
That got weird quick.
It sure did.
I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. Gimpy, what'd you learn today?
I learned the Chiefs got a bunch of D's. I also learned if you own a freezer, you might want to check on it every now and again.
I learned in 5 years, Gimpy's had 2 stinky boxes he's had to get rid of.
More than that.
All because they were about 64 degrees. And I also learned there is no way that Lindsay is not going to stick her hand in some stinky hole to get a stinky fish. Corbin saying, make sure that dishwasher is loaded right.
It's Lindsay, stop tracking my cycle.
This is Gimpy, and I'm sorry.
Thank you. Far too kind.
Yeah. Tear apples of the earth
Mm-hmm.
that have a hole in it. Now, twice baked potatoes, sure.
Yeah.
Scoop everything out, make the mashed taters with everything, put it back in,
Mm-hmm.
crisp it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Delicious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's about it. I can't think of another, and I've never seen that done with sweet potatoes. Not that I couldn't. The skin's not as dense as a regular potato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So picture this. He
Mhm.
holds the potato. My mouse says the potato, or my.
Everybody who's watching at home, yeah.
He used the sweet potato as a silencer.
Yeah, got it from a TV show.
Yes, he sure did.
Oh.
In court,